easy-to-use website you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.
Good evening and welcome to visit Worcestershire New Road for the last game of the T20 Blast campaign. Or is it? We will require miracles beyond anything we've seen before mathematically for games of cricket, but technically Worcestershire are still alive. They host the Nottinghamshire Outlaws this evening, and in similar form to Worcestershire in this campaign, it's win one, lose one, win one, lose one, as the players make their way out of the Graham Hick Pavilion. The Outlaws won the toss and inserted Worcestershire, so the Rapids will bat first. And they'll be hoping for more of the same we saw on Sunday against Leicestershire, as Brett D'Oliveira and Isaac Mohammed make their way out. 50 they put on for the first wicket in that game. I'm Jim Dale, alongside me is Frank Watson, and I mean, technically this game's live, but realistically this is an opportunity to make a statement for the one-day cup coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you could say, you know, if it was football, we'd be saying something like, you know, there'll be players who are trying to impress the coaches for next year, etc., etc. But I don't really buy into that with T20 cricket. It almost feels like every year is a new incarnation of whichever team it is, different overseas players, possibly different captains, etc., etc. So it is what it is. Both these sides, as you say, have been pretty much win one, lose one. In fact, if Worcestershire were to win tonight, it would be, I think, exactly 6-6, wouldn't it, in terms of wins and losses?
I think it, yeah, 7 apiece.
And yeah, and Notts the same. So very similar campaigns for these two. Anybody can beat anybody. Worcestershire won the game at Trent Bridge by 25 runs, quite a comfortable win really, when they made 206 against Nottinghamshire, having on that occasion been put into bat as well. They'd be very happy to repeat that here, because scores here at New Road, as we know, Jim, and maybe our listeners and viewers from Nottinghamshire won't know, but scores here at New Road tend to be a little bit lower than that. In fact, the score on Sunday in the game against Leicestershire made 173 for 6, and it was described by us as par. And we talked to Ethan Brooks, who played a match with Innings in that game after the game, and he said exactly that they thought it was par. So that gives you an idea, if you're a Nottinghamshire follower, of the sort of scores that we've seen here at New Road in T20 cricket in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Right, well, let's get some team news for you, and there are some changes. A squad put out a couple of days ago for this game. There are 2 changes to that initial squad. Adam Hose was added yesterday. He does make the starting 11, and it's going to be a debut for Ben Gibbon, left-arm fast bowler who's done well in the seconds in all forms of cricket this year. Ben Dwarshuis has linked up with Australia in the West Indies. Very successful stint he's had at Worcestershire as the overseas. So the team news then: Brett D'Oliveira and Ishaq Mohammed out in the middle to open up. Gareth Roderick slated to come in at 3. Then Kashif, Adam Hose, Ethan Brooks, Tom Taylor. Ben Allison gets another go. He made his debut against Yorkshire a bit earlier on in the campaign. Fateh Singh, Ben Gibbon and Karam Shahzad. For the Outlaws, it's Freddie McCann, Joe Clark captains the side, Jack Haynes, a couple of familiar faces, Moises Henrique, Tom Moores will keep wicket, Daniel Sams, Matthew Montgomery, Liam Patterson-White, Calvin Harrison, Ollie Stone and Dylan Pennington as well.
So yeah, it is a T20 debut for Ben Gibbon. I don't think he's played blast cricket for Worcestershire before. He's been in good form this week in the second team game at Barn Green against Zimbabwe with a red ball, and at the very end of the campaign he gets a chance tonight.
Well, Ollie Stone's going to open things up from the New Road end. Ishaq Mohammed on strike, and it's a game that Worcestershire, I mean, it's the numbers are well, they're astronomical really in terms of being competitive and trying to overtake Bears in 4th place, but I'm sure that young Ishaq will have a go. In comes Stone then, and he's let that one go, Frank. I don't think I wasn't expecting.
You weren't expecting.
I'm oddly delighted by it though.
He's discovered the leave. Yeah, good to see Ollie Stone back. He's had a horrible time with injuries, both this year and before. Horrible injury that he suffered at Northampton against Worcestershire 4 or 5 years ago, and he did his cruciate ligament.
On his way in again, and that's just dropped down as well. Yeah, really impressive bowler. England recognition, of course, and as you say, Frank, it's been difficult for him. He has played a couple of games in the Blast this year, but he is very much finding his feet.
And he will always have my backing. Jim, do you know why?
Have you coached him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, the coaching bingo.
He's a fellow Canary, that's why.
Oh, I see. Norwich City, of course. Well,
he's from Norwich.
Football ties run deep, wherever you are in the world. On the move, and that's beaten Ishaq. But yeah, really talented player. He's been expensive since his return to the first team, but I think given the campaign that the Outlaws have had, everyone's been expensive actually, and that this does feel very much about getting fitness, getting some miles in those legs. And we'll see Dylan Pennington, who was so successful towards the end of his stint here at Worcestershire with white ball cricket. Deeper in the crease, and they'll look for a single. They'll get it easily as well. So Worcestershire off the mark. Good start this though by Ollie Stone. And for the Outlaws fans around the world who have joined us for this live feed, opening the batting has been a bit of a problem. We've laboured the point, I think, in recent broadcasts, but it's been such a significant part of the success of this Worcestershire side that D'Oliveira has been a stalwart of this side, and he's had a really tough campaign with the bat, and they've tried multiple opening partners as well, and it's been a bit of a problem. And last time out against Leicestershire, 50 they put on for the first wicket, by far the best return. And they were hoping for more of the same this evening. Dolly on strike then with his first ball, and just guided away. So a watchful start, 1 ball left of the over of course. But Dolly started the campaign well, Frank. 30 up at Lancashire, 79 against Yorkshire, and then since then, 8 games he's played at an average of just 11, just over.
Yeah.
And Ed Pollock, who started the campaign, had a very difficult time as well, averaging just in single figures. And it's been that failure to set a platform that's made it difficult, as competitive as Worcestershire have been. And that's going to complete a really impressive first over from Ollie Stone. Just 2 from it. Watchful from the 2 Rapids openers. But overcast here. We've had a few summer showers throughout the day, most recently just half an hour before the start of this one, actually. The outfield certainly looks a little bit lusher than it has in recent games, Frank, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll still be really quick though, I think. Dylan Pennington is going to bowl from the Diglis end of the ground. He didn't really favour one end or the other when he was a regular here at New Road. In my experience, Dylan Pennington, he was pretty successful from both ends. I remember him getting a wicket with the first ball of the game against Notts here a couple of years ago, bowling from the New Road end. Might even have been last year, actually. No, year before, definitely. Here he is, in now, bowls, and D'Oliveira just turns this on the leg side.
Yeah, he developed a real knack in his first spell, bowling a couple of overs in the power play.
Yeah.
And it was like clockwork almost. He'd get 1 and often 2. We've seen kind of similar from Tom Taylor, actually. Different bowlers though they are. But it was the growth of Dylan Pennington opening the bowling in white ball cricket.
In and out of the side with injuries and so on for the last year or two since he went to Notts. Clipped away on the leg side by D'Oliveira. Just 1. And a sedate start for the pairs, having been put into bat. Jim was talking about our laboured conversations about Worcestershire power plays. Certainly in the last 3 or 4 games in this competition they have been inconsistent, to say the least. Don't think they've quite worked out how to go about it this year in the power play.
Well, that'll help.
Yeah. 6 over cover point from Isaac Mohammed. Given a bit of room, he will throw his hands at it. We've seen that, well, many times already in his short time with Worcestershire, but given a bit of width, tends to let the arms go, and he just sliced that one away over cover point. A long way up, but it's all about letting him get his arms away. And Pennington will take note, I'm sure, and try and straighten up. And he does. Just a single this time. Double figures reached.
The trouble is with the conversation about the top innings, Francis, it's just been impossible to avoid, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the difficulty, because there's been no obvious progress. Having said that, what we've just seen there is Isak, beautiful 6, and then just runs the ball off the face of the bat, takes a single, gets down the other end.
Which does suggest progress.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. But you're right, you can't escape that conversation when it shapes outcomes of games so much, the power play. And I think we've seen it again. I was watching the game between Surrey and Middlesex last night, and Surrey lost a couple of wickets, I beg your pardon, and there was a suggestion by one of the commentators that they might just take 2 or 3 overs to calm things down. And there isn't a lot of calming down going on these days, as D'Oliveira whacks this one over mid-on. He'll get 3. Good bit of fielding down there. Ball flicked back inside the ropes, and it was quite greasy for the fielder down there. Just trying to identify exactly who it was.
Well, it's 11 from the over, that's for certain.
Jack Haynes. Yeah. What 11 from the over, 13 with their loss at the end of 2. Yeah, what I was going to say is the other commentator, who was Charles Dacklin, I think, said, well, they don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. I think what you will see is they'll just keep going. And they did. And, I think Sam Curran was out and his brother came in and carried on, hit his first ball for 6, I think, and just carried on playing shots. And that's what I've tended to see this year in nearly every game, whether involving Worcestershire or not. There have been odd exceptions.
Ollie Stone then back in from the New Road end. D'Oliveira shapes to come down the wicket and then just
stopped a little bit, I think, that one, didn't it?
Yeah, had to wait for it. Took the single.
Maybe he just held it back a bit. But there have been exceptions. As I say, Sam Hain regularly goes in for Warwickshire in the middle and just calms things down, often to good effect. And I think we've seen Gareth Roderick do that a couple of times for Worcestershire. But generally speaking, teams have been tending to go hard all the way through, I think, these days.
That's uppish, and he's safe enough with that, but it's climbed on him a little bit and just bunts that in the air. And I didn't say anything because I've the average opening partnership for Worcestershire in this campaign, it's 18 runs from 2.1 overs.
Get ready then.
Well, since the first 2 games where actually it went very well. Since before the Leicestershire game where they made 50, it was actually 15.4. So we were absolutely bob on for that. And so Stones in again, quicker this time, and pulled into the leg side. Isak thinking about 2. Dolly will happily watch from the other end. Dug in by Stone. And averaging 34 for 2 from 4.2 overs as well. So those 2 opening partnerships, that's the average, by the way. We've seen plenty that are lower than that. And that tells its own tale. But having said that, Worcestershire, they've bowled well in this competition. Middle order have come up well. They've won plenty of games and been close in plenty. So if they can just tidy up that top order, much better prospects for them, as that's heaved away. And that's gone all the way for 6. Well, it's fair to say it might have gone a bit finer than intended, but he got more than enough on it. And he's not going to turn that down, young Isak. So well, second 6 of the innings for him.
He goes so hard, doesn't he? His hands are so fast. I mean, a lot of people have said that he reminds them of his uncle Moeen, and it is a valid comparison when he plays shots like that.
How can Stone respond? That's on a length.
Well, that's good fielding.
Done well to take a single there. They were thinking about it. It's a good bit of fielding, yeah. Full length dive, but they'll still take a single. So a productive over. They've got the boundary, and singles off every ball. So 10 from 5 in this one. As the ground is filling up. Good crowd in here at Visit Worcestershire New Road. I think pretty much, well, the vast majority will be aware that chances of qualification are less than slim. Dolly on strike, carved away again, and that's going to find the fence. 1 bounce 4, so a good over's turned into an excellent one from a Worcestershire perspective. 14 from it. He's 27 without loss from 3 overs.
Yeah, 40. He's bowled so well at the beginning, didn't he, Ollie Stone? Just 2 off his first over, but not able to respond, having been hit for that 6 by Isak.
Got to get your line right bowling short here, though. That's true with most places, really, and we've seen that.
Daniel
if you're
Sam's
not
coming into the attack, by the way.
If you've not got the control with the bumper, then it does tend to end up over the rope. Yeah, Aussie all-rounder Daniel Sam from the Diglis end. He's seen plenty of drama in this campaign. not much pace on that one, and
was
Isak's through the shot.
He was expensive at Trent Bridge in the corresponding fixture. 4 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 48, Daniel Sams. That was the night that Adam Hose played so impressively for Worcestershire. Dylan Pennington picked up a couple of wickets, but it was hard work for the Notts bowlers that night. Goodness me, that's huge, isn't it? That's almost gone up as far as it's gone long, if that makes sense. It's only just cleared the ropes at the Diglis end, and it went a long way up in the air. But 6 more for Isak.
Well, I mean, you have to say, actually, this feels much more controlled, doesn't it?
Well,
it's what
so far. What we have said, I'll just break off as Sam's bowls this one. That's a great shot, isn't it? Just for one. What we have said is that he's got to turn cameos into scores, and that may well not happen tonight, but it is the challenge that lies ahead in this young man's career. He's obviously precociously talented. 23 off 13 tonight. Just a reminder, if you don't know much about him, he is only 17 years old, Isak Mohammed. But the next stage is for him to get a 50 or a 70 or something like that in a T20 game. He's obviously proved that he can do that in other formats and with the red ball as well. Made runs for England under-19s against India and a couple of the one-day internationals in the series just finished.
It must be said as well, he's a young 17 as well. He's not about to turn 18.
No,
he's not 18 till next year.
He's made some big runs in Premier League cricket in the Birmingham League for Smethwick, which is a very good standard of league cricket. And that's a super shot. Effortless. And that's where the comparison with Moeen comes in, isn't it? When you watch a shot like that. One of the umpires in the Premier League said to me that umpired him several times, and he said he is the most impressive young talent I've seen for a good sort of 7 or 8 years in that league. So well, he's turning it on tonight. 27 off 14. It's 39 without loss in the 4th.
Well, his top scorer in this competition, I mean, it's a small sample size, of course, is 32. And as you say, Frank, we've seen some 19s, some 22s, a 29, a 32. And the test is now, can he go on? And that's gone a long way up in the air.
This is the best catcher in the country.
Well, the answer is he can't carry on, Frank, because he's got to go. It's a safe take.
It's a safe take by the safest hands in English county cricket, in my opinion, Calvin Harrison. The best slip fielder I've seen for a long time. And on the ropes, never in any doubt that he was going to catch that. 39 for 1 and another cameo from Isak, but it is ended in the 4th over, I should say.
Well, we saw throughout that knock, Brett D'Oliveira in his ear as he gets a very welcome round of applause as he crosses the boundary rope. And there's a little snapshot of a highly gifted young cricketer. This is a really good pickup from a Worcestershire perspective, of course. He was on the books at Warwickshire, up the road.
Yeah, highly gifted cricketer. And there's a great deal more to come from him, and we should be very excited and not overly critical. The fact that he's again produced a little cameo, 27 off 15 deliveries, but it has given Worcestershire a good start, so you've got to give him credit. 3 sixes in that, 1 4, and it's a decent platform.
It is a solid start, no question. I think it's the nature of the shots that he plays, Frank, that's so exciting about him. As D'Oliveira carves this one away, and Dylan Pennington on his first ball taking over from Ollie Stone, gets dispatched to the boundary. There was width, and the Worcestershire skipper obliged him. Carved away over backward point, no danger at all. In amongst the impressive hitting from Isaac Mohammed, D'Oliveira's found his way onto 16 from 10. We've actually seen that Pennington going at well over 9s in this competition. Daniel Sam's going at 10s. We've seen actually very few Outlaws bowlers under 9. That's been the problem. They have leaked runs in this competition. Pennington in again, D'Oliveira on the move, and he's just guided that into the gullies. They'll take a single. It's well fielded, but it was never in any danger. So again, I think looking to be busy at the crease, rotate the strike.
Just going back to Calvin Harrison, he got 100, didn't he, for Northants the other day in red ball cricket, I think. Is that right? Or was it? I think it was in red ball cricket. He got his first red ball 100 on loan at Northants. Obviously, good leg spinner, great catcher, and Kashif gets off the mark first ball. I saw a quote from Darren Lehman, who said, you know, this guy's one of the finest young cricketers in the country, and his time has surely got to come, and he should be involved in the England setup and that kind of thing. And I thought, well, you know, he's not even getting into the Notts side in the Championship at the moment. Maybe Darren Lehman would fancy him at Northants, but he's not exactly going to attract him. Well, that's not necessarily the case. D'Oliveira single, bottom edge, but it's going to kind of arouse the interest of other counties and maybe put the price up in terms of salary and so on if he talks him up. So it was a strange way of going about it, I thought, from Darren Lehman.
Yeah, he's 27 as well, isn't he? I mean, he's still
he's a seriously good cricketer. Yeah, I think he's to be getting a game in the Notts team, but I can understand why. They've got Patterson White and Farhan Ahmed and other spinners.
So dealing in singles at the moment.
But
yeah, he's just in the game, isn't he, all the time?
He's a good leg spinner. He's a brilliant catcher, and if he can add consistent red ball runs to his game, then I think he becomes a very serious cricketer indeed. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that Darren Lehman, having had him on loan, spoke so highly of him.
Pennington looking for the ramp, and doesn't get hold of it. I always get a bit nervous when Dolly gets the ramp out, Frank, I'll be honest. I don't think that's his shot, but...
Well, he can play it. When he's going well, he can play it, but he knows Dylan Pennington. Maybe, you know, he could have ramped that delivery. It was just that he missed it, but I think he, having been in the same side as Pennington for a long time, he might well have anticipated what ball was coming last up in that over, but he just didn't manage to get a bat on it. It's watching players ramp these days. And there was one in that Middlesex game last night. I think it was Holman who got into position to ramp it and saw that it wasn't where he expected, so he turned it into a switch hit. It was just amazing, and it went all the way. Kashif, well, that one's gone all the way. That's gone all the way, over the ropes, over the fence, bounced off the old scoreboard, a backward square leg on the river side of the ground. Not a bad shot for your third delivery. Kashif goes to 8, the 50 is up.
It's such a Kashif shot, isn't it? What a pickup that is, and the extension of the arms through the ball. It's just beautiful to watch. You're getting all the fun down the Diglis end, Frank, I think.
What I was going to say about this switch hit that came from nowhere last night is it's the ability to change your mind as a batter. That's that even better. I mean, probably the best shot of the night, even though it's gone all along the ground, that from Kashif. Sam's over pitching and Kashif just nailing it straight down the ground. Beautiful shot. Yeah, these ramp shots are premeditated, so are switch hits, obviously. But it's the quick thinking and the instantaneous ability of many batsmen now to premeditate, get into that position, and then even when the ball isn't where they expect it, to still fashion something effective. It's absolute genius, really. That's a good run. They've run well, Worcestershire, tonight. Famous last words, but both setting off, and despite the alacrity of Freddie McCann at cover, they still managed to get home quite comfortably. So 58 for 1, 3 balls left in the power play.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm fearful of wickets, Frank.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what Worcestershire's best power play has been. This might well be it.
This is it, yeah. Wickets depending in the next 3 balls, which is why...
60 for 1 on Sunday, actually. So that's 59 for 1 now. So, yeah, it's there or thereabouts, isn't it? And given that they only got 2 off Ollie Stone's excellent first over, it's been pretty nicely paced. Kashif Ali batting at 3 means that probably Adam Hers will be 4, which means that probably Gareth Roderick will be 5, unless Ethan Brooks is pushed ahead of him towards the end of the innings, and then that is not necessarily his best position, Jim, as you were saying earlier. There we go, sliced away on the offside by Kashif to bring up that 60. So 60 for 1 equals the power play that Worcestershire had on Sunday against Leicestershire, where again, you know, they were fairly measured, as they have been tonight. So maybe they have made some progress.
Well, it doesn't feel frenetic, does it? I mean, we've seen everything this year in terms of power play, not necessarily from a good, not from a great perspective, and that is a single, so that will be the best power play, and it absolutely felt like the most controlled as well. Some good hitting in there.
So 14 from that over.
But going back to Gareth Roderick, actually, because something that you picked up on, there has been a little bit of criticism from Gareth Roderick, and he's fashioned himself into an effective T20 cricketer. And there's something you said last time out, which was it depends where he bats. And you're absolutely right, Frank, and here's for why. So Gareth Roderick, and he probably will come in at 6 today, when he bats at 6, he averages 18 with a strike rate of 105. Batting at 3, he scored 212 runs with an average of 42.4 and a strike rate of 139. So when the field is up, he's been hugely effective. Not so much at the back end of things when he's got to try and clear the ropes with 5 fielders back. And we're going to see our first spin of the day, and it's going to be Calvin Harrison into D'Oliveira. Full ball and just worked into the leg side. It's optimistic to think of 2. Daniel Sam, cuts that one off so they don't go.
D'Oliveira gave himself lots of room there, backed away outside leg stump before Harrison had bowled it. Harrison followed him a little bit, whether that was deliberate or not, or whether it was going there anyway, I'm not sure. Drags that one down a bit.
Driven down the ground for one. He's not a prodigious spinner of the ball for a leg spinner, but has good control.
Yeah, he does.
We haven't seen a lot of spin here this season, have we?
No.
There have been times when it's taken and it's gripped, but we saw that Tom Hinley's opportunities decreased as the campaign went on, as Dolly's on the move here. That's well bowled.
It's nicely bowled, isn't it? Just held it back a bit. He appears, I don't know him at all, Calvin Harrison, he appears to be a very calm cricketer.
Fullerin just worked away.
Under pressure now
he
to look
qualifies
for,
for England, doesn't he? But he's South African born, grew up in New Zealand, I think, and a bit in England. Again full. That's good fielding. And this is really tidy stuff. Just 3 singles from the over with 1 ball to come. It's a relative moment of calm in what's been very successful power play from Worcestershire perspective. Chipped up in the air, should be okay though. And that one just sat up in the surface. I thought Kashif was going to send this our way at deep mid wicket. That's where we're currently situated, but it goes down the ground. A single it is.
Good over.
4 singles from it. And 65 for 1 the score from 7 overs. So a good over indeed, but a good platform as well for this rapid side. I think we're going to see spin from both ends here.
Yeah, born in South Africa, raised in New Zealand and Somerset, apparently. So there you go. Nice mixed cricketing background for Calvin Harrison. Liam Patterson-White with his left arm spin at the dig this end. He's in. Nice easy action. And his first ball is a little bit short of length and just fetched around on the leg side for a single by Kashif.
Well, I suppose, Somerset, it's quite difficult to get into that side, isn't it, from a spinner's perspective?
I don't know how
Good
long
for spin.
Don't know how long he was there for. Patterson again just pushed away on the onside for a single, but good start by the 2 spinners. And
he went through the youth groups, played second 11 as well, so it's in the past decade.
Right.
So it's the world of
Yeah.
Best, then Leach,
yeah,
Bashir as well. Clocked a little bit.
played a bit
Safe
for
enough.
Hampshire as well, apparently.
He is well travelled, isn't he?
Born at Durban, King's Taunton, Oxford Brooks. Yeah, not. I think he's only.
Dolly on the charge.
counted.
Goodness me, that's a good shot. He's got all of that. That's over the back of the D'Oliveira stand. Really lovely strike. Used his feet well, got to the pitch of the ball and sent it. That's vintage Brett D'Oliveira.
Yeah.
And he moves on to 29.
A new ball called for. I don't think Patterson White be giving him quite as much air again as he did with that one. He did bowl that a bit slower and a bit gave it a bit more air, well, a lot more air actually, and D'Oliveira accepted the challenge. Kashif calls for a drink while they're messing about changing the ball.
Well, we saw,
So it has gone a long way if they can't find it, that one.
we saw Rian Ahmed get a bit of tap on Sunday. Ethan Brooks particularly took a liking to him. We've seen that actually with Fateh Singh, who started the campaign very effectively, economically, took wickets, put batsmen under pressure. But he hasn't been quite as effective in recent weeks either. So it has been a little bit tricky to bowl spin. Visit Worcestershire New Road this campaign.
They're in a good position now, Worcestershire, having had that. I think they've got it back, have they? So they've chucked the other one off. Having had that little hiatus from that first Calvin Harrison over, it's almost been sorted out by that one shot, really. And as I saw, much quicker and flatter this one. Maybe just gripped a little bit, leading edge. Got away with it, D'Oliveira. It's a sticky, sort of muggy sort of evening here at New Road. Good feet from D'Oliveira there. Quickly onto the back foot as that one was pushed through. End of Liam Patterson-White's first over. 10 runs came from it. Rapids put into bat. 8 overs gone. 75 for 1.
Well, this is a good start. Just one down. And there's a platform there, as you say, Frank. Adam Hose and Ethan Brooks both had decent campaigns. Slated to come in next. Roderick, of course. No Bandorcius. He's joined up with Australia out in the West Indies.
And a good query from Stephen Mann, which I'll read out in a minute.
That's full. And that's gone
Wide.
for everything. It's going to be called a wide.
He says, good to see Brett D'Oliveira, making an impact. Is that a first? A player clearing the top of a stand which shares their name. But it's not really his name. That's another good shot, isn't it?
Just rocked back. Plenty of room out there and cracked it through extra cover. Just gave himself depth in the crease.
But it's a nice idea, Stephen. Of course, for those who don't know the ground, it's the Basil D'Oliveira stand, Brett's grandfather. He did clear it, but whether it's the first time, I'm not sure.
Quicker, D'Oliveira down the track and drills it down the ground. Should be a couple there if it's stopped by Ollie Stone, which is good fielding.
Good fielding, really good.
For a fast bowler who's had all kinds of injury problems.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Not just a fast bowler, but one with a bit of an injury record. That was brave as much as anything, wasn't it?
Knees, ankles, shoulder. But really quality piece of work. Saved 2 runs. Dolly again. Plenty of room out on the leg side. 3 men back, so there's always a single there. Just asking you to play against the spin, but got to the pitch and smothered any turn that there was. So following a very effective first over. This one's slightly more expensive, and we're only halfway through. Prince Kashif on strike. Bit short, and he's cracked that straight to Dan Sams. Sounded good off the bat. And D'Oliveira, this is his second highest score of the campaign. Got a way to go to beat his best, way back in the second game against Yorkshire. He's on the charge again, and be another single. Good intent though from the skipper. 10 off the over with 1 ball to go.
It's his third, I think, because he got 50 in both the games against Yorkshire, I think. 79 at heading here and 53 at heading.
You're quite right. Works into leg side, so it'll be one more.
They've been limited highlights, haven't they, for him? End of the over.
Yeah.
86 for 1, I think. 11 off that over. I think what I've noticed perhaps tonight about Brett D'Oliveira, Jim, compared to certainly Sunday when he was very much out of sorts, is just more positive footwork, both coming down the pitch, going back, coming inside the line. He just seems to be in a much more positive frame of mind. I suspect that there's been a couple of 2 or 3 days of work in the nets on that, and just his decision making just seems to be a lot more certain tonight.
I think
there was a lot of uncertainty about the way that he batted on Sunday.
You're absolutely right. I think the footwork has been more decisive. I think the shot selection's been a lot better as well, though. I think at times he was almost trying to hit himself back into form.
I suppose one follows the other, doesn't it? Or that, you know, they're inseparable, aren't they? But yeah, it's been good. Ollie Stone at the Diglis end. And Kashif Ali has absolutely smashed that away on the leg side, almost into the burger stand. And what a great way to start the over from the Rapids point of view. Magnificent shot. 50 partnership comes up in just 5 overs, and Kashif looks in the mood. Might have just got lucky here. He has. He's just got lucky. The ball is chased back to long on. Now that's a really good bit of work in the end, because it's gone over the head of
Liam Patterson-White down there.
White, who's thinking he's in with a chance. It's gone over his head. He's fielded it 1 bounce, and then he's just controlled his feet and stopped inside the rope. Really good work from the left arm spinner in the field. So just 2 runs taken, and well bowled Ollie Stone, just taking the pace off that one a little bit and deceiving Kashif with a sort of slower short one. But 8 off the first 2. Kashif is on the charge, 28 from 16. D'Oliveira finding a bit of form after a lean spell, 38 off 26. The man out, Isaac Mohammed, for 27. Well bowled, Ollie Stone. Kashif on the walk. Stone gets the Yorker in. Kashif, however, squeezes the bat down on it, times it well enough to come back for 2, albeit 2 that he had to hurry to make. But that was good cricket from both batter and bowler.
Frustrating, isn't it, for a bowler when you get the ball in the block hole, stop a batter on the advance, and it still goes for 2 though.
And again, nicely bowled. Slower ball. Kashif can't do anything with that one. Good response from Ollie Stone, having been dispatched off the first ball of the over. He's come back really well. Just 4 runs from the next 4. And if you can get out of the over without too much damage off this ball, then I think, given that the first one's gone for 6, that's a pretty good effort.
Oh.
However, neither bowler nor batter covers themselves in glory on this occasion. Stone grins as he takes his cap from the umpire. There's a full toss, inside edge from Kashif, and the 100 is up for the Rapids. Kashif just losing his shape, trying to whack it, trying to hit it a bit too hard, and he gets lucky, he gets an inside edge, but Ollie Stone perhaps feeling that if he reflects on it, full toss on leg stump probably
yeah.
Didn't really deserve any more than that. End of the over, 100 for 1, 12 runs, 14 runs. Sorry, came off that one. And we're at the halfway point. Yeah. Well, if they can double that, that'll be very, very handy.
Well, at the halfway point, 6 4s and 6 6s, Frank. And I think all but 2 of the 4s have been from the Diglis end.
Yeah, yeah. And 6 4s and 6 6s, and yet one feels just a slightly more or less frenetic, more measured approach generally.
Patterson White from the New Road end, and Dolly rocks back and sends us into the leg side. Dan Sands has been busy out there, but it just feels like the measured approach where there have been singles, they've taken plenty of 2s. You know, they've been busy between the wicket. Very positive stuff. Looking for a sweep. Almost felt like he made that decision late. Fired in by Patterson White, and
almost too full. He could have got a little paddle on it. It was so full in the end, but as you say, he'd almost made his mind up.
On the charge this time, drilled down the ground. It should be a chance of a catch, and it is. Well held in the end, tricky one. Make sure whether you go palms up or fingers up is a good grab. Timed it, drilled it down the ground, but Kashif's got to go. And Patterson White has his first wicket of the evening. And he was looking in good form, Kashif, some really clean striking. But his innings comes to an end.
Yeah, it was a good catch by Ollie Stone. Took it very calmly, as you say. A big man, and he had to make the decision whether to go reverse cup or orthodox cup. He decided to go reverse cup. Had to sort of kneel down in order to do so. Judged it very nicely.
Yeah. Lost a little bit of balance in the process as well, but kept hold of the ball. He's fielded well.
He certainly has.
But the upshot is we're halfway through the 11th over. Worcestershire 101 for 2. Adam Hose comes to the crease. You'll have fond memories of this bowling attack from the game up at Trent Bridge. 95 he made. Really impressive, imposing. We've seen a couple of innings from him. One particularly in red ball, one in T20s, where he got a chance to show his real class as he just watches this one onto the bat.
It's important now, isn't it? Patterson White, just one run off this over so far. And sometimes, we've said this lots of times, you get a wicket in an overall in the middle and you can sneak a really cheap one in. And he's going to do that here, provided he doesn't go to the boundary off this last ball, because Ho's just off the mark with a one there.
Yeah, push that one through. Just,
he's a canny operator, I reckon, at this level. Sorry, in this format, I mean. Patterson White.
Well, there is a decision for D'Oliveira to make, isn't there? Do you let the over go, or do you look to be aggressive here? And they take
the
one,
strike, I think.
And
it's a really good over.
That makes well, it is a cracking over, as you say, Frank. A breakthrough, economical as well, but more importantly, D'Oliveira's still there.
It's the cheapest over since the first over, so that's the extent to which it's a good effort by Patterson White.
But we have seen at times Worcestershire's desire to keep going, as we talked about a little bit earlier on, as is the kind of the tempo expectations of professional cricket these days, and then have two new batters at the crease, and what that can really do is slow momentum. D'Oliveira is there, 40 not out, and looking in reasonable touch. So again, we've seen that it's rather more miserly from the New Road end, and the spinners are swapping ends.
So Calvin Harrison from the Diglis end. I mentioned that Stephen Mann had been in touch. If you want to get in touch, you can do so via X, Twitter as it used to be. Both Jim and I are on that platform. It's Harrison bowls and D'Oliveira cuts, but straight to fielder Patterson White at backward point. At Frank Watson 58 is my handle. At Frank Watson 58 or at James F Dale. D'Oliveira down the pitch, well bowled by Harrison. Another dot. Great little spell for the Outlaws in this 11th and 12th overs. Great little spell. Just 3 off the 11th, 2 dots to start this one. 3 runs off the last 8 deliveries, and just a single this time as D'Oliveira sweeps. Good stuff from the 2 spinners.
He's actually got quite a rare height for a wrist spinner as well, isn't he?
He is quite an unusual bowler in that respect, isn't he?
Because when it comes out the back of the hand, getting it up and getting it down, flight and drift is great.
Again, nicely controlled by Harrison. Hose just takes a single.
He's just doing enough to cramp them for room as Dolly and Hose look to move away to leg a little bit to give themselves a bit of room to free their arms. He's just following them a little bit. It's good stuff from Harrison. Fuller this time, and they'll take a single. But the spinner's doing a good job here of just building a little bit of pressure, which sounds like it sounds a bit silly when they're 106 for 2, but the batters will know that they'll want to push on and make most of this excellent start.
Hose off the back foot, picks up a couple. Yeah, I mean, he was the best knots bowler in the last game as well, actually. 3 overs, 1 for 25 in that game, Calvin Harrison. And so far, doing a pretty good job in this one as well. 3 overs for 20. And that's another good over, just 5 runs coming from it. So that's only 8 off the last 2. Worcestershire only 2 down. Don't want to lose steam. And they might, one imagines, be looking for a biggish over in the next 2 or 3, I would think, to get things back on track. Having got to 100 halfway, and be disappointed if they don't get to 180, I would have thought.
Left armer, Patterson White's in, drilled down the ground, And not the most convincing of ball trackings there, but safe enough hands. And Harrison fizzes it back in, so it'll just be a single. But something we haven't seen here for a fair old while, Frank, is two spinners working in tandem, actually doing a good job for their side as well. In comes Patterson White. Hose is on the move, and he's crunched that down the ground. That'll be 6. Into the sight screen. We saw he got injured against the Bears. We saw some monster hitting down the ground from Adam Hose. But just clean, crisp striking there. Carries over the rope with real ease. Inside out this time over extra cover.
That's a clever shot, you know.
And fielder can't get there. So 6 and a 4. Well, you called it, Frank. Are they going to go and try and be more aggressive? They are. But that's the shot of a man in form, isn't it? Fielder will be a little bit disappointed not to drag that back in.
It was a clever piece of cricket, I thought, from Hose. Just opened, literally, almost as he hit it, just opened his wrists and got it wide of that fielder.
Leg side this time. I think it might have come off pad. It has, so it will be a leg by. We'll send the fielder to his right by drilling it hard down the ground, as you say. Open the blade and send it to his left. Real skill in that. Full and drilled again, and Ollie Stone's got some work to do. Again, it's good fielding, fizzed in. They'll take a single. So 13 from the over, 1 ball to come. And Hose has helped that round the corner. Great fielding. Really good fielding.
Innings.
So 14 from the over. Threatened to be more.
Yeah, Moises Henriques getting down. Well, he almost lay down before the ball came, didn't it? It was an odd one. But he knew what he was doing.
The longest of long barriers, wasn't it?
It was. It really was.
But we're seeing here, actually, Frank, along with Sunday, it was a bit of a mess against the Bears, and that as much as Hose and Dwarshus tried their best to wrestle some sort of, initiative in that game. So on Sunday against Leicestershire, actually an excellent chase, wasn't it? We're rather fortunate early on, and we've seen here.
Yeah, they'll miss Dwarshus as much with the bat as with the ball, won't they? Because he's been the power hitter at number
7. He's coming,
number 7, and over sort of 15 to 20. He's been easily the most effective. Tom Taylor presumably will fulfil that role today, and I think with 13 gone, if we get past 15 before they lose another wicket, we'll probably not see Gareth Roderick. We'll probably see Ethan Brooks next, and then Tom Taylor, and then maybe even Fateh Singh after that.
Yeah, well, Dwarshus averaging 45 in the blast with the bat. I know there's a few red inkers in there that'll help the cause, but even so, we saw
some massive hitting, massive.
The second half of the blast particularly, he's been excellent, hasn't he, Ben Dwarshus? I think he's exceeded what most people were expected from him, Yeah,
really impressive, especially after, I think, the first couple of games people were saying, he's come with this big reputation that he's so much improved since last time, but actually proved to be the case. Pennington back into the attack, starts with a nicely disguised slower ball to Hose, who just steers it out square on the offside for a single. So where are we? Prediction time, 123 for 2, 1 ball gone in the 14th. We reckon, us wise old men here at New Road, that 175 is about par. I'd say if you got 100 for 1 off the first half, even allowing for that par, you got to be looking at 185. I think they'll be disappointed if they don't get that. If not, to keep them below 180, they've done really well. Bouncer from Pennington, D'Oliveira, deceived by it, goes to hit it on the leg side, just gets a sort of bottom corner on it really, and they go for 2. Good bowling from Pennington, who's a bit disappointed by that outcome, because he had achieved what he aimed to do, which was to deceive Brett D'Oliveira in the flight, as it were. If that makes sense. He's not a spinner, obviously, but the change of pace, the slower short one, and D'Oliveira just managed to get a bat on it, and it evaded the fielder at short fine, and they got 2. Unlucky for the bowler. Back to full pace this time, and he's got a wicket. D'Oliveira giving himself room, looking to just cut it away on the offside, and just steered it really into the hands of Liam Patterson-White at short third man. Not a bad shot, but straight to the fielder, a yard either way, and he would have got 4. End of a good innings though from D'Oliveira. Played really well for his 46. Brings to the wicket Ethan Brooks. It's 125 for 3 in the 14th.
Yeah, we saw a few flashes of vintage Dolly there, Frank, didn't we? A couple of cut shots away in that straight 6. And as you say, he's looking to take on that inner ring, really. And it's a very welcome return to the dugout from this Visit Worcestershire New Road crowd. It's a sizable one as well. I think Rapids will feel like they wish there were a few more games ahead of them, because they're looking to find form here. But 125 for 3 now. What we've seen actually in this campaign, Frank, the amount of times 8, 9, 10 overs, the prospect of 200 looks tantalising, and then wickets fall overs 11 to 15.
Saw it very much in Leicestershire innings on Sunday.
Bears did it as well first up on the previous Friday.
Ethan Brooks is the new man, and he's off the mark straight away with a 4 down to fine leg. Pennington just drifting into his pads a little bit, and he just steers it nicely. Ethan Brooks, match-winning innings of 56 not out of 28 balls, 4 4s and 5 6s here on Sunday. Different situation now. That was in a run chase. This in an innings where they need to set a target, but a good start for the young man, and these 2 ex-Warwickshire players together out there for the Rapids at the moment. And Brooks just drops this down on the onside and picks up another single. And, made 32 off 19 balls in the game up at Trent Bridge. So the not supporters who are watching tonight on our live stream may well have been there that night and seen the partnership between these 2 players, which added 89 for that 4th wicket that night. Pennington hoping they will not be doing the same. He's in from the Diglis end and bowls, and Hose is walking down the pitch and flat batting this down to long off for a single. Good fielding down there. Prevents any more than that. Ollie Stone, the fielder, he's been busy, long off to long on. He's going at the moment, and he's been excellent. He's been quick across the ground, he's been safe with his hands, he's been occasionally quite athletic for a big man, and he's done a good job so far in the field. 9 came off that 14th over. It's 131 for 3, and Calvin Harrison's back.
Yep, to bowl his last over of the spell. By far the most economical bowler we've seen so far tonight. Hose will have other ideas about that by the time he's done, but for now he'll just find that real estate in the leg side.
Right, go on, ask the question. How many balls before Brooks sweeps?
Okay.
I say
it's either going to be one or
this
2.
one. I say this ball.
Okay, you take the first, I'll take the second. There are only 2 answers.
I say this ball reverse.
I think that's a fair shout. I would have said the same, but you got the toss of the coin, so I'm going to have to say second ball. In comes Harrison.
Oh no, he's let me down. Pushed it away on the offside. If you wonder, and you're listening and watching, and you wonder why we're going on about it, because Ethan Brooks is the most prolific of sweepers.
Sweeps,
doesn't matter which
scoops.
side. Doesn't matter which side.
Yeah, he's excellent at it, and he'll get that shot out early. Comes Hose, looks for the sweep, He doesn't get much of it.
Doesn't matter which side, and it doesn't matter what colour the ball is either. Loves a sweep.
Well, again, Harrison. An economical start to the over. Just a couple of singles from the first 3 balls. Hose is on the charge. Doesn't time it, but he finds the gap, so he'll look for a couple here. They'll get it easily.
A couple of people have been in touch. I'll deal with what they said at the end of the over.
That sounds stern, Frank.
No, it's no, yes, it did sound a little bit pedagogical, didn't it? Well, bold.
Well,
it's such a good over. He's only gone for 4 of 5 deliveries in over number
well, this is the last
15.
Ball
Yeah,
the
really
last
good.
ball of his spell as well, Frank, and he's gone for 24. So it's a runner ball at the moment. Hose has clubbed that. He's going to finish with a boundary. And he'll be disappointed with that, Harrison. He's going to finish with 4 overs, none for 28, but he's bowled brilliantly, actually. And that run rate's well over 9. He hasn't really threatened the edge of the bat, but he has been really neat and tidy, shown real control, varied a little bit of pace, followed the batters when they've looked to make room outside leg stump. And that's a really good piece of white ball spin bowling without taking a wicket, really.
Ian York says it looks cloudy there. Well, it's not just at the moment because the sun has just come out, but it is cloudy. You're right, Ian. Will the light hold in the second innings?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It probably will. The cloud is quite high. I mean, it can get gloomy here in the second half of the T20, but at this time of year, I would say probably it'll be fine. Daniel Sams is back at the Diglis end, and his first ball is just helped on its way by Ethan Brooks for 6 into the stand at long leg. He is a very, very good timer of the ball, Ethan Brooks, and that's just a flick. It's not the longest boundary in the world. Just gone all the way, just as easy as that.
Helped it on its way, didn't he? And Daniel Sams has been expensive, going for 13s before the start of this over, and he's already been sent to the stands.
Julian Wardle's been in touch as well, as also a Pairs fan, I think. He said it's important that they go past 200 if possible, and then restrict knots if possible to 160. Might be asking a lot. Net run rate would then allow them to capitalise on any Leicestershire or Bears slip-ups. That's good, positive thinking. My colleague...
Yes, that's my man.
James F. Dale, at James F. Dale, at Frank Watson 58. If you want to get in touch, my colleague Jim alongside me will approve of that kind of thinking, and he'll also approve of your hashtag, Julian, which I love, which is keeping the dream alive.
Yes, Julian, welcome aboard. A chip and a chair, my friend. A chip and a chair.
145 for 3 with that boundary. You haven't missed any cricket. Slight pause. Here's Sams again. Change of pace, nicely bowled. Brooks steers it down to short third for a single.
Well, I mean, we've seen the platform is there for 200. There's no two ways about it. But we have seen that multiple times this year, and only seen a 200 score, I think, just the once. But these two are in form, so they'll have their eye on that for certain.
Just a single this time. Freddie McCann comes off the boundary in front of us to do the fielding. McCann, who's very much himself capable of hitting a long ball. 147 for 3, halfway through the 16th. So a couple of good observations from Julian and Ian. Love to hear a few more. At Frank Watson 58, at James F. Dale on Twitter, X. Ooh, well bowled from Sams.
Yeah, round the wicket, wide
pace,
on the popping
took the
crease
pace
as
off
well.
That really cleverly.
Well, he's had to try something, hasn't he? quiet murmur around the ground. You can hear the seagulls away over the food village.
And again, nicely bowled by Sams, only flicked away for a single. So again, it's the second time. We saw Ollie Stone do this earlier, where a bowler who's been struck for a 6 off the first ball of the over has actually pulled it back very nicely, just 3 off the next 4. I think that's a real testament to a bowler's mental strength. Sams just pulls up in his run-up because Joe Clark is making a change to the field for the last ball. Fine leg coming up into the circle. So long off and long on back. One imagines he's going full. Will Hose look for the ramp? No, but he's got 4 because he's got a big bat on that down to long leg. Oh, he's not got 4, he's only got 2, I beg your pardon. It didn't go quite as quickly as I thought. And actually, Jack Haynes running around the boundary, able to keep them down to 2. The 150 up then at the end of the 16th over. 4 overs left. And yeah, they've got to be looking for 190, I would have thought. I always think minimum 10 and over off the last 4.
Yeah, what it comes down to is the standard of the bowling, isn't it? You expect 10s, and if a bowler or 2 lose their head, then it can go drastically wrong. But again, we've seen multiple times where teams are well set and can't capitalise.
We saw a maiden, remember, in the 17th over at Headingley the other day, which is an extraordinary turn up.
Well, Patterson White's going to bowl in the last 4 overs, so I imagine Brooks will look to have a go here. And he does, and has he got that? He's got plenty of that, so that's a huge 6.
Wow.
Bounces off the concrete steps. I was going to say it's a bit of a gamble. I know Patterson White is very much a control spinner, but it's just a flick of the wrist and he's absolutely launched.
That's a long way. It's a long way. Tom Moores is talking to Patterson White now about his tactics against Brooks, and he appeared to be talking quite animatedly about what he'd done with that one. But it's a 6 off the first ball again. Can it be followed up?
It's a sweep. It's just
toe-ender,
cued it, hasn't he? Yeah. Chalk on the end of the bat. It's looking for 2. There isn't 2 there. He's been sent back, and quite rightly. Yep, just spun off the end of the bat, didn't it? He just
right off the end of it. It was a proper snooker shot, that one. He'll be annoyed he's lost the strike, but Hose himself, 27 off 17. The same pair that did a lot of damage at Trent Bridge.
Drilled through extra cover. It's a cracking shot. Hit too hard for the fielder running round. So spin in the last 5 overs is always a gamble. It's always
Full
tricky
toss.
as well when you've got 2 set batters, Frank.
Yeah, well, a low full toss like that is never a really good delivery from a spinner. You can sometimes bowl a low full toss as a seamer and get away with it, but he picked his spot there, didn't he, Hose?
Oh, drilled straight back at him. Sore fingers. They might get 2 here.
No.
Again, they think against it.
Almost a caught and bowled. Just tipped it over the bar, or into the top corner actually, not over the bar. He's annoyed with himself. It's hard though, it was hit pretty hard. 12 off the first 4.
It's a fine line between a good grab and evasive action, isn't it? When it gets drilled at you like that. But Brooks is back on strike. Is this a matchup he likes? In he comes. Patterson White. Carved over extra cover. That is a glorious shot. He's in form, is Ethan Brooks.
Well,
And the gamble of bowling spin in the death overs, it's proven to be an expensive one from an Outlaws perspective.
well, nicely executed by Brooks inside out. So a boundary on either side of the wicket for him in this over.
And clubbed away.
One driven down to Stone. At, long on.
He's seen plenty of the ball, Ollie Stone, hasn't he? But
17 off the over.
Expensive. And from this point, 167 for 3 overs to go. They will be thinking 200.
Well, Ethan Brooks, not wanted to put the mockers on him, but you know, we've seen a lot of him this year, Jim. He's played every game for Worcestershire in every competition. He's become a key man very quickly in this side since moving from Warwickshire, and I think he's a player. If you're a Notts fan, you're watching this, you might not have seen a great deal of him. I know you've probably seen a little bit, but I think he's a player that's going to attract quite a bit of attention. Just signed a new contract at New Road, which is good news for the pairs, but I think he's going to start attracting attention in franchise cricket perhaps in the next year or two if he carries on like this. Stone's back. Starts with a wide. Because he's a brilliant fielder as well, Brooks, and he's an imaginative and innovative batsman, but also one that's capable of clearing the ropes in front of the wicket. That's really well bowled by Stone, but they're going to get... No, they're not. It's about 3 or 4 times, at least, in this innings that they've fancied coming back for 2 when the ball's only gone to the edge of the circle, but Calvin Harrison racing in off the boundary is able to keep them to 1. And I think sometimes we forget when we see this. We see a ball played to the edge of the circle and we think, oh, they've come back for 2. I've said lots of times, Luxton and Wharton at Headingley against Worcestershire did it at least 8 or 9 times, but of course a factor that plays into that. That's a great shot from Hose, but only get 1. Is the distance, is the size of the boundary. It's the distance that the fielder on the boundary has got to come to get in to pick the ball up. And here at New Road, particularly on that far side, the Cathedral side, the 7 side of the ground, it isn't that far. And even on this side, it's not particularly far. So if the fielder on the boundary sees it early and gets on the move early, it's very difficult to get back for 2. Well, there's an example of Brooks going big in front of the wicket, and that's gone for 4. Bounce just inside the rope at deep mid-wicket. Good shot from Brooks. He's flying again. He's 31 off 13. As I said on Sunday, 56 off 28. He's a man in form. He's a man full of confidence. And he's asking some questions of the bowlers here. What does Stone do? Does he go short? Does he go for the York? It's got to be the York, hasn't it? Or does he take pace off? Goes for the full wide one and gets it right. Brooks perhaps just lost his shape a little bit. Tom Moores took it and appealed when Brooks was nowhere near it, which produces a head shake from the batsman. Not sure what was going on there. From Moores. Pink gloves tonight for the Notts keeper. Dot from Stone though. Not this time. Hammered away. Brilliant shot from Brooks. 6 this time, all the way, banged in short. Brooks just absolutely nails it over deep mid-wicket. That's a magnificent shot. My goodness me. We're watching a young man in very, very good form at the moment, Ethan Brooks. 37 now. And he's faced just 15 deliveries. Quite brilliant ball striking. What will Stone's response be? It's another magnificent shot by Brooks. It's full and straight from Stones, and Brooks just whacks it straight down the ground. Absolutely superb from Ethan Brooks. So a very, very good over for Worcestershire. 17 runs coming from it, 18 gone. Be very disappointed if they don't get 200 now. They are 184 for 3, and I'm going to stick my neck out, Jim, here and say I don't think we've seen a batter in this cricket in the last 4 or 5 years, I would say, probably since Worcestershire got to finals day, that's produced this sort of batting on as consistent a level as Ethan Brooks has this season.
Well, look, he's been absolutely full of talent, bags of talent and confidence as well, but this campaign it's just felt a little bit different. There are a couple of shots that, you know, he's put away, trying to launch it over long on and long off. Not so much, but his hitting square of the wicket particularly to clear the boundary. His range hitting has been phenomenal.
Brilliant. It's been brilliant. It really has. 41 off 16.
And that's 17 from each of the last 2 overs as Pennington comes in from the New Road end. Hose on strike, 33 not out. Had to play second fiddle, but he's launched this one away. There's an opportunity for a catch here. Is it Harrison's there? That's a really good grab over his shoulder. Just calm as you like, shelling peas. But with 2 overs to go and 184 on the board, it's all about trying to find the boundary. Hose is disappointed. He's had to play second fiddle for the past 10 minutes or so to Ethan Brooks. But it's a useful contribution added to the squad late, Adam Hose, and he's disappointed with himself there. But 33 from 21 for the vice-captain. And again, this Visit Worcestershire New Road crowd show their appreciation. They've seen some really good cricket. .11 balls to go. Tom Taylor to the wicket. As you say, Frank, it would have been lovely to have Ben Dwarsha stride out with the form he's been in. But Tom Taylor has shown it, particularly away at Steelbacks. He's a clean striker as well. 11 balls to go. And from what we know of this ground, Worcestershire already a nudge above par. Pennington to Taylor, flicked away, and it's going to go for 4. Patterson White tried his best to cut it off, but leg side worked away.
Couple more messages. Johnny Blaine says Brooks doing this against Notts, they'll try and sign him tomorrow. Well, that somebody would say that, but he has just signed a new contract, I'm pleased to say. And Neil Duggan, who's one of our photographers here at New Road, not here tonight, well known for his photography of the women's cricket, as you know, and his photography of wildlife and birds in particular. And he says, just remind Jim, there's no such thing as a seagull, but there are quite a lot of lesser black-backed and herring gulls around New Road. Thanks, Neil, for the expert analysis. We do the cricket, you do the ornithology.
Yep.
Pennington drops it. And he also says, and I think this is a good point, he says that the team's in the 100 of Mr. Trick by not signing up Ethan Brooks. I think that's what I was kind of hinting at when I said that he's going to start attracting attention, because he is he's made for it, isn't he? He's made for it, really.
Yeah.
Great fielder.
The bowling, it's been a little bit tricky recently for him, but those knuckleballs and slowers effective on their day, as this is heaved into the leg side. Chance for a catch if Stone can get there.
Oh, well caught.
Really great grab on the slide. He's been excellent in the field. Fast bowler, doesn't matter. And Gareth Roderick's going to make his way out. But it's a bit of a fire sale here. 2 overs to go and everything must go when you're only 3 down. Well, it's 5 down now and Roderick's on his way out. And
would you have sent Roderick in now, or would you have sent Fateh Singh in?
At this point, I'm probably going to send Roderick in. He's in form. Fateh Singh can clear the boundary, but at this point, what I want to do is I want to get 200 from here. I want to make sure I get 200, rather than send a guy in that might hit a boundary and then get out.
Dylan Pennington's figures are going to look quite good. That's his 3rd wicket. To be fair, he might be a tad flattered by his figures. But you get that, don't you, sometimes when seamers come back at the end and pick up wickets when the charge is on. That's quite well played by Roderick in the end, I think. Slower ball.
Yeah, waited for it, rolled his wrists, took 2. Score moves on to 190. And I mentioned earlier on that Notts, they leak runs and have done in this competition. And Peter de Sonberg very kindly points out they've conceded 200 plus 5 times this campaign, and 199 as well against Derbyshire. They've still won a couple of times, it must be said.
Yeah, they have. And that kind of explains their campaign, doesn't it, in the way that we explained Worcestershire's by talking about bad starts.
Pennington in again, Roderick on strike.
Cleverly bowled.
Yeah. Wide and full, and dot balls of real value here. So 4 balls into this, only 6 runs conceded. Most importantly, from a Outlaws perspective, Ethan Brook is stranded down the other end.
Yeah.
Non-striker. 41 from 16. He'll be itching to get back to the other end. 1 ball left to go. And they perhaps could have run to the keeper there with the misfield, but I think it's all about having Ethan Brooks on strike. Good over from Dylan Pennington. I think you're right, it does flatter him a little bit, but you've still got to stop him from hitting you for 6, and he's managed to do that. Picked up a couple in the meantime.
Yeah,
190 for 5.
3 for 34 from his 4, which, well, you could say it flatters him a little bit, but, you know, as much as anything else, his last 2 being dots have probably impressed his captain as much as anything. They're only going to use the 5 bowlers, so it's in that sense not a particularly typical scenario, because we've seen lots of teams these days in T20 cricket using many more than 5, but they only used 6 in the game at Trent Bridge when Montgomery bowled 1, but just the 5 tonight. And the damage has been shared around pretty much. Harrison, the standout, only 28 coming from his 4. Daniel Sams to bowl the last one. And Brooks goes big on the leg side. Another magnificent hit from Ethan Brooks over mid-wicket for 6. Wow, this boy gets better and better.
Well, he just went deep in his crease, didn't he? Turned a length ball into a short one and absolutely smoked him, Frank.
It's not slogging. He got 56 off 28 on Sunday with 4 4s and 5 6s. And that's his 4th 6 tonight. And it is measured hitting. Brilliant from Brooks. And that's another one whacked away on the leg side. That's 4 more. 10 off the first 2. The 200 is up for Worcestershire. And the 50 is up for Ethan Brooks from 18 deliveries. The crowd are on their feet, a lot of them here at New Road. This is very, very special from this young man.
Well, I can't remember a better 50 in this format on this ground, Frank.
No,
absolutely stunning.
I would completely concur. Maybe Johnny Bairstow a couple of years ago, but it's absolutely tremendous from Brooks. 10 off the first 2 in the last over. Make that 16 off 3.
That's gone
this boy's
miles.
On fire. This is sensational from Ethan Brooks. 57 from 17. Sorry, from 19. I should correct myself. 57 from 19. Last over begins with 190 on the board, and he takes 16 off the first 3.
I don't know what the breakdown is from the Diglis end, Frank, but I wouldn't have wanted to bowl this evening. I think if you're a rapid, you just I'll take new end, please, Skip. New road, please. But it's just.
I wonder why.
It's not normally the case, is it? It's pretty even split, but we're going to lose another ball. I mean, going back to Ethan Brooks, this is absolutely a coming of age, isn't it? He's had moments and glimpses. He's had red ball centuries. He's plenty of 50s in white ball cricket, but this hits different, if you'll pardon the pun. Because as you say, it's such controlled and measured power hitting.
It is, and
it's not just trying to hit the casing off the ball and send everything over square leg for six.
And the bowler is running up, thinking, right, I've got to do something here, and Brooks is just standing very, very still, and at the moment has an answer for whatever comes down his way.
Well, where does the bowler put it?
That's another one. He's got him this time. He's not quite got hold of it. He's hit it really well. If he'd have dragged it a yard or two wider, then he would have found the boundary again. As it is, he's picked out the man at long on. And I think it's Calvin Harrison again. A quite magnificent innings from Ethan Brooks ends. He's out for 57. He faced just 20 deliveries, 5 fours and 5 sixes, and he gets a standing ovation here at Visit Worcestershire New Road, and he very much deserves it too. And even his own teammates, some of them on their feet. A really brilliant knock from Ethan Brooks. 206 for 6 in the last over, and Brooks 57 off 20 deliveries, 5 fours and 5 sixes. Absolutely superb. Ben Allison, follow that.
It's going down leg.
Gets hit on the pad.
Well, I mean, that was genuine goosebumps, standing ovation. You don't see many of those, and I hope you're enjoying this. If you're sat at home comfortably with a refreshing beverage of some description, but to be in the ground for it, well, that's really special.
It was Montgomery, by the way, who took the catch, not Harrison. Apologies.
The crowd here at Visit Worcestershire New Road, well, it'll live long in the memory. I was there. Not many things in T20 cricket are that memorable, Frank. If we're brutally honest, it's kind of come thick and fast. Lots of action, lots of fun.
Yeah.
But that was superb. Has he got enough of that?
No.
No is the answer. Well, that's going to conclude things from a Rapids perspective. A flurry of wickets at the end as the Rapids batters just look to clear the rope with every delivery. But 206 is the total, and on this ground it's a big total. We reckon a good 30 over par. It's been an expensive afternoon and early evening for the Outlaws. It's something they're used to. They do have the batting to make a real dent in this sizable total. But we've seen a promising cameo from Isaac Mohammed. We've seen Dolly find form. We've seen Adam Hose, will do what Adam Hose does really, just continue to contribute, creative and powerful. And we have seen the coming of age of a fabulous young cricketer. And as Frank says, he's signed a new contract. And that'll make Rapids fans up and down the country, and especially those in the ground here this evening, feel very, very good about life. What a stunning knock, Frank.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. It was a privilege to watch it, and you can say what you like about the campaign, you can say that it's too little, too late, or whatever. I don't care. Just great to be here and to watch that. So really good from Ethan Brooks. It's not a foregone conclusion, as you said. Notts have chased over 200 successfully a couple of times this season, but they'll have to go some, they'll have to play well, shall we say, to get the 207 they require. Mike Andrews has been in touch. He says, is Isaac in cricket full-time or still juggling the school? I don't know. I think probably he's in cricket full-time. All I do know is that what I can say about the family is that Moeen told me, that Kadir told me that him and Moeen and their other brother, between them, have got 6 GCSEs, and Kadir got 5 of them. So
that's a good strike rate.
So I'm not
sure
good
strike rate.
Whether Isaac is cut from the same cloth, I don't know, but I would imagine that young Isaac is absolutely set on a career in the game professionally, and he looks to have many of the attributes that are required. So there we are, 206. The Worcestershire score, 207 Notts need to win, and We will be back with you very shortly when they start their attempt to get those runs.
Amazing.
Are you going?
No, he doesn't want to go. He's loving it. He wants to go for a little walk.
You didn't see the one that came.
I know, I dabbed him. You did see the big one, didn't you? Because I dabbed you. Did you see that?
Rapids set out by Fred Cornell. And the Not Outlaws opening batters, Joe Clark and Freddie McCann.
Well, welcome back to Visit Worcestershire New Road as the Outlaws openers make their way out onto the hallowed turf. Rapids fielders already out there, as are the umpires, and Knots have got some work to do. 207 will be the victory target because the Rapids went big. We reckon about 30 over par, and a rather leaky Outlaws bowling attack has gone for over 200 for the fifth time. It's the sixth time, I should say. But they are decent with the bat. Freddie McCann on his way out, and Joe Clark, of course, formerly of this parish, and the familiar sight of Tom Taylor opening up with the ball for the Rapids.
Well, if you're of a Rapids persuasion, Jim, you're hoping that they go big at the start, lose early wickets, go for it, get bowled out cheaply. The run rate is hugely improved and miracles happen elsewhere. You said that from the start. You were optimistic of something like that happening, and the Rapids have at least put the first part of the plan into operation. What they need now is a couple of early wickets to get the second half going.
Taylor to Clark, first ball of the reply. That's just guided away, and off the mark straight away with a single. And we've seen actually that, well, the first ball of that 207, the first over of that 207, I should say, just went for two for Ollie Stone, and the power play was 61, wasn't it?
Yeah, and just by way of caution, maybe, or realism. And so we were eulogising about Ethan Brooks and talking about when was the last time we saw somebody play an innings like that in T20 cricket on this ground for Worcestershire. Well, it might well be that it was Joe Clark who played an innings like that.
It's on the money from Taylor. Of course, the tricky bit is that a couple of quiet overs when you're setting a total doesn't feel quite the same as when you're chasing, when you have scoreboard pressure to contend with, but there's no doubt about it. Clark is a highly skilled cricketer in all forms. In comes Taylor to left-hander. McCann looking to drill that. It'll just be a single. So Kashiv comes in to do the fielding. But they've made plenty of runs this season, the Outlaws, so they won't be fazed by this total by any stretch. They'll want to get a win here to complete, I think, what by their own admission would be a disappointing Blast campaign. The talent they have at their disposal. Trying to figure out their best side, trying to contend with injury disruptions. In comes Taylor again. Clark on strike. Wrapped on the pad. D'Oliveira likes the shouts too high. Not an awful lot going for it. But it's a dot ball. And we still have some sunshine here. It's been grey. There's been plenty of drizzle throughout the day. It was cloudy at the start of the Rapids innings. But now some puffy cloud.
Now, isn't it? Beautiful evening.
Again wrapped on the pads. Some pace from Taylor.
Just gets that movement back into the right-handers with the new white ball, Tom Taylor. We've seen him pick wickets up with a couple of prodigious in-swingers in this campaign. Not getting through Clark, but proving difficult to get away so far.
We've seen
Clark, he'll be wanting a boundary off this ball, I reckon, if I know Joe Clark.
It's telling as well, even when Duffy was here and Dwarshus, of course, and there's plenty of seam bowlers to go around. Finch, when he was in the side, is that they want to make use of Taylor with that swinging ball early doors as well, don't they, by bowling 3 in the power play. And you're right, he was looking quick hands, but couldn't get hold of the ball. So it's another dot ball, 2 runs from the over. He's matched Ollie Stone in terms of starting the innings. And we have seen him take plenty of wickets early on, haven't we, Frank? And it's making use of that in-swing that's been so successful for him as much as possible at the top of the innings.
In the very, well, certainly first 2 or 3 overs. Karam Shahzad will bowl from the dreaded Diglis end, given that bowling from the Diglis end tonight at least has been more expensive than from the other end. But Shahzad, he's made a good start, only been with Worcestershire briefly in this competition, but he's made a good start. He's picked up 5 wickets so far. McCann cuts his first ball away on the offside, and Brooks races around the boundary. They'll get a couple, but yeah, he's bowled virtually a full spell in each of the 4 games he's played so far. Picked up 5 wickets and gone for 34 twice, 27 once, and 40 the first time in his very first game. But he's been pretty slippery. He's proved good at the death. He's bowled right at the end on a couple of occasions.
He's got a lot of dot balls, Frank. The figures don't look that dramatic, but he gets a lot of dot balls.
And there is one. Oh, it's a wide, however, down the leg side, and taken by Gareth Roderick.
And we've seen wickets being taken at the other end when he's bowling because of those dot balls as well. The bowling in partnerships is important too. That's something to note, actually. Worcestershire have been excellent with death bowling under pressure, but there is no Jacob Duffy, of course. He went back the end of June. No Ben Dwarshus now. No Adam Finch, who's been usually bowling the 15th over, or 16th over.
He's unwell, I think, Finch, not injured.
So Gibbon and Ben Allison will be given a go this evening. Let's see what they're made of.
That could be the first wicket. Sliced in the air by McCann and taken in the covers by Kashif. So the ideal start from a Worcestershire point of view. Notts Outlaws lose their first wicket in the 2nd over with the score on 5. I would have hated this kind of cricket. You travel across the country, practice all afternoon, field for 20 overs, and then go out there and you're under pressure to whack it straight away, and you get out and you think, well, what's this all about? He faced 4 balls, he's gone.
You get to what your mates have a go now.
Yeah, it's a mad game, isn't it? Jack Haynes is the new man. 2 former Worcestershire players out there playing for Notts. Who'd have believed it?
I'm as surprised as you are, Frank, but somehow we'll get through this shock. But, I mean, 2 very gifted cricketers. And Worcestershire's loss is very much Nottinghamshire's gain. But they're out in the middle together with their side in a little bit of bother. And it's going to have to be pretty positive stuff from the get-go here. 5 for 1 the score. As you say, Frank, a good start. Pressure on these batters.
Haynes off the mark, first ball, just dropping that down on the leg side. I still think at this stage in his career in England, Karam Shahzad has the advantage of being a little bit of an unknown quantity. Don't think Jack Haynes or Joe Clark will have faced him before. Quite skiddy, as I say. Just nips the ball back into the right-handers.
And with the Metrobank Cup as well, it's a different set of fixtures as well.
Clark can't do much with this one. Good from Shahzad, good from the Rapids at the start of this run chase. 207 the target. 10 and over right from the outset. It's already gone up to 11.
I'll just like to go back to Neil Duggan in a mo.
I don't think he was too cross with you, really.
No, no, I don't. Ornithology aside.
Oh, that's good from Clark. Or even... Is it 4?
It is.
It is. No, it's flipped.
No, it's gone over the rope.
It's gone over the rope. Beg your pardon. Good shot. Just a little bit short. He's onto it really quickly. they see the length so early these days, these guys, and nailed by Clark.
Well, that's it. Picking up length early is really key, isn't it? But back to Neil.
Yeah.
Ornithological observations aside, thank you, Neil. God bless you. It was his birthday on Sunday.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And the women's rapids looked after him, which I'll explain in a moment.
Nice. Yeah. Ooh, Clark edges, leading edge over short third man, gets away with it, bounces just wide of fielder at short third man, and they go through for a single. So the end of the second over, 9 runs came from it, but it also produced the first wicket. 11 for 1 off 2.
So yes, so he as you say, he's a regular here and taking photos of the women's rapids game. It was a double header on Sunday, and whilst he was doing the usual post-game stuff, the women's rapids presented him with a cake, sang him happy birthday, and a really lovely way to celebrate as Taylor's in again.
And that
Plenty on that as an opportunity.
Up in the air, and it's safe. I think it's Ben Gibbon running back at long on. He got right underneath it, Haynes, and it cleared Gibbon. He was running back. He was interested for a while, but I don't think it was ever really a realistic chance. If he'd have been back at long on, then it would have been a very straightforward one. Taylor a bit disappointed. 2 runs ensue.
Well, it's another miscue, but it's okay. And I just thought it's a lovely sentiment and representative, I think, of what Worcestershire County Cricket Club is about,
Yeah,
Frank,
I
in
agree.
that community and that family feel.
It was Clark, by the way, not Haynes. Forgive me. Taylor bowls, and he's just turning this one or pushing it out on the offside for a single.
Cash even quick.
14 for 1 then.
And I think these little moments, these little things, and it's what makes this cricket club special, I think. So
yeah, good to see.
happy birthday to Neil
For Sunday. And thank you for the ornithological tip.
Yeah, I've already forgotten all the technical bits, if I'm
Well,
honest.
I'm a
You a twitcher?
I'm a bit. I'm not a twitcher, but I'm quite a reasonably keen bird watcher.
In comes Taylor again. Haynes on strike. Sends that down the ground. It's another chase for Gibbon. He should get to this one. And he does. It's a really good grab.
Great catch. That's a really good catch.
D'Oliveira's reaction says it all. Sprints towards the fast bowler on debut. Double fist pumps. And Outlaws are 2 down. Haynes using his feet.
Really, really good catch. I mean, they practice them incessantly, but that is exactly why. It doesn't make them easy, and that one, a biggish hit from Haynes, got underneath it, didn't really middle it, but Gibbon, having had the experience of the one before, maybe just a bit quicker this time, just setting off a little bit harder, chasing it back towards the boundary, and Jack Haynes suffers a dismissal where Joe Clark just got away with it, and it's 14 for 2 in the third. And this is what happens if you go hard in a run chase, because you've got to, because you're chasing over 200. This can happen. That's not to say that you might not see a 100 partnership between these two, but more pressure on Clark as Henriques joins him.
And then new batter at the crease. The opportunities to take a look get shorter as Taylor is in again. Oh! And that's evaded Roderick. This might well find its way to the fence. It does. So it's somewhat fortuitous. It's flicked the pad on the way through.
You see, here I am again with my ban leg buys theory. What do the batting team deserve from that? Nothing is the answer. Absolutely nothing. Do away with leg buys unless they're bowling round the wicket, I say. If you're bowling round the wicket and it goes behind square on the leg side, keep them. Otherwise, get rid of leg buys. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Well, that's a bombshell. I like that. It's the last game in the group stages from a Rapids perspective. In comes Taylor. And solid forward push, looking to take on the man. He would have got home only just, but he's been pinged there. Adam Hose fizzed that in. So Henriques just going to dust himself off, pretend it doesn't hurt, and carry on with his day. So there we are, Frank. Get rid of leg buys.
Yeah, unless it's a bowler who's bowling round the wicket and the ball goes behind square on the leg side, because then you can't go round the wicket and aim at the pads. So if you're around the wicket and you hit the pads and it goes behind square on the leg side, you can have leg byes. Otherwise, get rid of them. Always said it for years. Not a new idea. Just don't see why a batsman who is defeated in a shot should get any credit whatsoever.
Taylor in again, and that's beaten the edge. Just feeling for that one was Clark, unconvincing. Outside off stump, and good over from Tom Taylor. It's on the back of Jack Haynes. And look, it's a valid point, Frank. It is. There's an element of unjust, isn't there?
Well, there was. I mean, that was a good example. He's cut the ball's nipped back, completely done him, and it hits the pad. It goes for 4, and the team that are batting get a really positive benefit, and it's bonkers, isn't it?
Well, this will be interesting. Ben Allison into the attack. We'll see Ben Gibbon in due course as well. A very different looking Rapids bowling attack to the first game of the season.
Allison, only his second outing in this competition. Dropped down on the offside for a single. Rupert Monkhouse has been in touch at Frank Watson 58 on Twitter, or at James F. Dale. He says, let's maybe not tell all the hula hoops teams about Ethan so he can still work his magic in the one-day cup. Well, is it too late, or are they still picking up wild cards? I'm not sure.
We're not authorities really on this. But
Rupert, to be honest with you, I don't think we need... They know. They all know, I think. There's enough word going around in the professional game for people to be aware of who's attracting attention. I'm just glad Worcestershire have signed him up to that new contract. Good from Allison. Good start. Just dabbed down for a single by Clark.
Yeah. Sticking it outside off stump on a length. He won't get away with doing that for too much longer.
Just one game for him so far. Played up at Headingley.
Yeah,
Matthew Waite, of course, is still missing for personal reasons. And
it was a bit of a difficult evening.
It
Ben
was.
Allison.
Dropped a
in
couple
the field
of catches.
where
3 overs, 2 for 25 though. Didn't bowl too badly. And he'd be quite happy for them to take singles from him. 3 dots to start.
That's 3 balls on the kind of the 4th stump, outside off stump. And will they look to line him up? A little bit of variation wouldn't go amiss here, I think. But it is a tidy start. We see that run rate, although it's not alarming for batters at the crease as it is. 11.2 is the required rate. They don't want it to get too far beyond that.
The dot. Now it gets tricky if it gets up to about 14, I reckon, in the first 10. If it goes up to about 12, they can probably manage it. If it gets up to 13, 14, and you're still in the first half of the innings, I think you're under pressure. Then somebody's got to play really, really well. It's not impossible. Joe Clark, capable of almost anything in this format, and Tom Moores can put bat to ball with great purpose.
Dan Sams as well.
Yeah, Liam Patterson.
He's been a hero with the bat before.
But 13, 14 to be sustained for half an innings takes some doing. Well, there's your variation. Drops it short, and Henriques absolutely smashes it. That ball hit as hard as anything that we've seen tonight, I think. Just absolutely smoked to deep mid-wicket. It was like Dad on the beach when Son dropped short that one, and he just dismisses it into the waves. Don't bowl there to me, mate.
You've got to learn, son.
Yeah, that really was, wasn't it? Goodness me.
That has happened to me. My dad has put me into the sea.
Better. Good response from Allison. Took the pace off that a little bit, I think. And finishes the over quite nicely. Only went for 8, which isn't too bad at this stage for the Rapids. 4 gone, 27 for 2, the total, and at a similar time, the Rapids were 39 for 1.
Well, as is the way in recent games from a Rapids perspective, Tom Taylor's going to have his 3rd over here, so he'll take a whole end from the power play. This will be a test for Allison and Gibbon. A little bit later on. In comes Taylor. And quick as well. Worked into the leg side.
Neil says, thanks for the mention, Jim. The women are back at New Road on Sunday against Yorkshire, 2:30 start.
They sure are. I'll be doing the live stream.
Get down here and watch them. If you'd like to see some cricket this weekend involving a Worcestershire team.
Back-to-back wins for the Women's Rapids as well. 9-wicket victory on Sunday against Leicestershire. Followed up an impressive win away at Derbyshire as well. Yorkshire will be a tough ask. Very good side as Taylor's in again. Oh, and that's beating the outside edge.
And Neil also says, if you're coming to the game, bring me a cake.
Sounds reasonable.
No,
You heard the man.
He didn't really say that. But if you see a man walking around with a camera with a massive lens on it, give him a cake.
If anyone wants to lend me a camera with a massive lens.
Yeah, and ask him to identify any birds that you see, and then you'll know whether it's Neil or Jim.
Yeah. Limited bird knowledge, I'll be honest. That's okay. Just guided away straight to Fateh Singh. That's poor from Fateh Singh.
Dear.
And what would have been a quick single has turned into 4. And he's well. We've seen a few fumbles and a few misfield from Fats in the field. Former Outlaw, of course. One of the few players that goes the other way.
Tom Taylor, not happy. Not happy. You just don't expect to see that, do you?
No, when the
This
field is in
level.
position, it's not like there's you know, it's just run off the face, isn't it? It's not a case of being done by spin, it's just taking your eye off the ball. And from a professional point of view, not a good look at all. And that's driven through extra cover. Good diving stop, which means it'll be 1, not 4. But yeah, frustrating for the bowler, especially as you want to keep putting that pressure on the batting side.
Yeah,
Don't give them any freebies, make them make a mistake.
Good stop from Isaac Mohammed in the covers, which kind of makes up for what happened before. They got 5. If the one had been stopped by Singh and then that one had come for 4, probably none of us would have said anything. Funny old game, as they say. 33 for 2.
Taylor on his way into Clark. That's gone down the leg side. It'll be called a wide, and rightly so.
Interesting, there were only 2 wides in the Worcestershire innings and 1 leg by, just 3 extras. So that's good discipline from Notts. Could argue perhaps that they didn't vary it enough, and hence Brooks was able to be as aggressive as he was. If you're just joining us, Worcestershire 206 for 7 in their 20, 27 from Isaac, 34 from Kashif, D'Oliveira 46, Hose 33. But the standout innings, 57 from Ethan Brooks off 20 deliveries with 5 4s and 5 6s. So
Clark takes a
207
single.
the target.
Yeah, Clark takes a single. You feel that they're just looking to get themselves in, give themselves a platform. Taylor's bowled well though. 1 for 14 with 1 ball left of the 3rd over. And rather unflattering figures when your fielders don't back you up. And he's just directing a bit of traffic here. There's a bit of cover out on the offside. 3rd man becomes short. 3rd man Kashif's in there behind square. There's now a boundary rider at cover point. In comes Taylor then. And that's going to go for a single. Oh, they thought about a single. And he would have been long gone if he'd have hit. Goodness me. Clark was on his way. Got sent back and he was stranded. Only 1.5 stumps to aim at. But that would have been a disastrous outcome. As it stands, the throw was wayward. Clark survives. It means that the Outlaws are 35 for 2 from 5. 7s is the strike rate, which means the required rate's up to 11.5.
Adam Hose it was with the throw, and he fancied it, I think. We all fancied it. You wonder, don't you, when it's that far out, if the fielder had his time again, whether he'd just set himself a little bit and throw rather than do it all in one go. Karam Shazad is back, starts with a wide down the leg side. So Worcestershire have already bowled as many wides as or more wides than the Outlaws did. But yeah, he could even have stopped on his way through Hose and underarmed it. So far out was the batter, but so used to running onto it and picking it up and shying on the run that it may be better to stick with your normal method. And it was probably, we think, very close. Well, we've got a wicket anyway. It doesn't matter because Clark has given it away a little bit. He's looked to do a little reverse ramp. He's got it wrong, and he's basically just chipped a catch up on the leg side. And Ben Gibbon takes his second catch, and Notts are in danger of doing what I suggested Worcestershire would be hoping they might do at the start of this, which is go hard at the beginning, lose early wickets, get into a bad position, and end up falling a long way short in the attempt to win.
He got into position really early, didn't he, Joe Clark? And he just patted it up in the air. I started to worry, is there going to be a collision as Roderick was on the turn and chasing after the ball. But after, well, a little bit of indifferent fielding, Worcestershire pick up another wicket, and it's Kumram Shishad yet again. And 36 for 3. That winning total, still 171 runs away, and that's a long old way away when you've got less than 15 overs to go. And I don't know how Julian's feeling watching the stream. I got a big old grin on me mush.
Karam Shazad in again, bowls, and ooh, absolute beauty. First up to Montgomery, beats him outside the off stump, and the run rate is creeping up towards 12. As I said, if it gets past 13, I reckon, and you're not past halfway, that is really tough. Not many games are won from that position. Some are, but very few.
It's usually asking the lower order batters to come in cold and contribute as well, isn't it? And when the run rate's high, it's a really tough ask.
McCann out for 3, Haynes for 1, Clark for 13. And Shazad just pulls out. I think he's got a fly in his eye, which is quite possible tonight on a humid, sticky evening here at New Road. And Brett Oliver just goes up to help him and does the honours, removing a fly from Karam Shazad's eye as Ben Gibbon loosens up at backward point. Gibbon in for his first game in this competition ever for Worcestershire, and only his second game this season in the first team, having taken wickets earlier today in the second team game against Zimbabwe up at Barnt Green. Pulled away from that one, brought here tonight. Shazad recovered, he's in and bowls, and Montgomery looking to work him away on the leg side. He's taken on the pad, and the screw is tightening here from Worcestershire. It's a good start. Just a sense of a relaxed nature to them once they picked up that first wicket, knowing they got 200 on the board. And they're also going out there with that energy and momentum that is given you by the end to an innings such as they had with Ethan Brooks powering them past 200. And they've got another wicket. No, they haven't. It's just evaded Tom Taylor at mid-on. Montgomery chips this one away over mid-on, and Taylor races back, flicks it inside the rope, and they go through for 2 runs, but it could easily have gone to hand had Taylor been 2-3 yards deeper at mid-on. So Worcestershire very much on top at the moment. Things can change, but you sense another wicket or two before halfway, and it's going to be a very, very long night for the Outlaws. Better from Montgomery, proper cricket shot, driven through the covers. Not going to go all the way. Yes, it is, because Kashif Ali diving, tries to flick it back and ends up, in a way, just kind of helping it over the rope. So a good shot from Montgomery. And I'd hazard, Jim, that thinking back through the last 6 overs, that's probably the nearest thing to a proper cricket shot that we've seen. We've seen a lot of attempted big hits and ramps and scoops, but I can't remember seeing anything that resembled a classical cover drive like that. And it brought 4. Slightly slower from Shazad, nicely bowled, took the pace off it. Clever over, end of the over, end of the power play. 42 for 3, the Outlaws. So 7 runs came from that over, but it cost a wicket, and the run rate has crept up almost to 12.
Well, you're just going back to that in terms of there was a ball that Allison just dropped short that got pulled away convincingly, but yes, that's the first piece of good timing and a bit of technique and a bit of balance involved.
Yeah, no, I beg your pardon. There was it was Enrique's, wasn't it, that shot, and it was just as good as anything really. But yes,
but it was putting away an ordinary ball rather than an elegant and well-timed cover drive, as we're going to see. Gibbon into the attack straight away on the move, and he's been carved away over cover, not fully timed, so it should be picked up inside the rope. It will be. So looking to use his feet early, powerful Aussie batter. I think they realise that they're going to have to target somebody and try and wrestle a bit of momentum here. So, as you say, Frank, Ben Gibbon's been bowling really nicely for the seconds. Left arm seamer looking to bring the ball back in. He'll be keen, really, more than anything, get through his first over. There must be a few nerves. I know he's a professional cricketer and he's played plenty of cricket for Worcestershire since signing a couple of years ago. As a few changes are made out in the field. Kashif comes into mid-wicket. Ben Allison back out onto the fence at deep square leg. Gibbon in again. Cut away. That's just about beat the man. There's a hand to it. In comes Fateh Singh. So it'll just be 1. So a half stop at backward point. But, Montgomery and Enrique's there. Bit more purpose. Again, that sort of quiet hush goes across the ground. Good crowd in. They know Worcestershire are on top. 2 batters that are more than capable of taking a bit of initiative back. In comes Gibbon again. Left arm over the wicket, cut away, straight to backward point.
Rupert follows up by asking, is Ethan Brooks up there in Worcestershire's fastest T20 50? I don't know, is the answer. Without pausing and doing some proper research, I wouldn't know. I dare say that Moeen has got 1 or 2 pretty quickly. 1 or 2 I can remember, but yeah, I mean, his 50 today came, the actual 50, not the 57, came off I think 18 deliveries.
Gibbon in again, deep in his crease, grilled down the ground. And who's out there doing the sweeping?
Yeah, 50 and 18. I mean, that there won't be many better, I wouldn't have thought. There won't be many quicker, if any. It was brilliant, wasn't it? It really was. It was great to watch.
Wristy, deft touches, singles, good running, power hitting, real finesse. As Gibbon's last ball, it's just guided away, and that'll be a single. 7 from it.
Yeah, that's all right, isn't it, at this stage?
I mean, he'll thinking, just don't go for a boundary, and if you can keep the boundary count down, then the batters will know, they'll feel it.
Yeah, and he didn't. I mean, any over without a boundary is very, very good.
Number 77, Ethan Brooks.
Interesting shout, going with Brooks rather than Singh, I think, with the short leg side boundary, or shorter leg side boundary. Brooks bowling from the Diglis end, the dreaded Diglis end, with his little mix of knuckleballs and slower balls, and he's got a wicket. First ball, great catch by Brett D'Oliveira, absolutely superb. Leading edge, spinning away, D'Oliveira running back, sliding on his knees, it's come over his shoulder. It's the second absolutely superb catch by the Rapids tonight. And Henriques has gone for 18. Ethan Brooks strikes with his first ball, and the Outlaws are in big trouble.
Gripped
at 49 for 4.
Gripped in the pitch, thick edge. It's a really good grab, isn't it, Frank? We've seen it from the Outlaws as well, actually. We've seen some good catching out in the outfield. And D'Oliveira, who was going full pelt, wasn't he? Easy ones to shell. But that's a killer blow. We've seen actually in recent games, Ethan Brooks has been one and done, really. He's taken a bit of tap. But his mixtures of slower balls, cutters, knuckleballs. And Moores comes to the crease with his side in all kinds of bother. 49 for 4 the score. And rotating of the bowlers yielded immediate results as well.
Good start from Moores. When you reflect on Worcestershire's season, and I'm not counting chickens, but they lost at Lancashire by 7 in the first game. They lost at Edgbaston by 1 wicket when a throw, had it hit the stumps, would have won the game for them. And if they end up 6 wins, 6 losses, or whatever it is, it's going to be half and half. That one sliced for 4 by Montgomery, got inside it, well played. If they end up in that position, a win short, say, of qualification, I would imagine when they reflect on it, the coaches, they're going to be pretty frustrated about just little things that could have gone better in those 2 games that were so narrowly lost. Such are the margins. That's 4 more. Over pitch from Brooks. He's done his job, he's got a wicket, but just a little bit loose since then. 9 off the next 3 deliveries. The run rate's over 12. Anything under that is still good, but they're going to target Brooks. I think there's no doubt about that. They know their opposition. They've got their analysts, they know their matchups, and they know that Brooks will probably only bowl 1 or 2. And they've got to try and get after him. And that is going to be more runs down the leg side. And it's going to be wides. And it's going to be 2 of them. So it's all gone a bit pear-shaped after that first delivery. But as I say, the Outlaws know that Gibbon and Brooks have got to be targeted. Taylor's bowled 3, Shazad's only bowled 2. Singh yet to bowl, which is interesting. Slower from Brooks, better length, better disguise, better outcome. 11 off the over so far. In fact 12. In fact 13 now, as this one's punched away on the onside by Montgomery. And that is the end of the over. 62 for 4, 13 came from it. And they need to score that many runs off every over virtually. Well, just under it, the run rate's just gone over 12. 4 men out. McCann 3, Haynes 1, Clark 13 and Henriques 18. In contrast, Worcestershire's first 4 batters, 27, 34, 46, 33. And then they had Brooks striking so well at the end.
Well, Gibbon's going to get another go from the New Road end. Montgomery on strike. On the charge, cut away. And that's good bit of fielding. Isaac Mohammed, backward point. If it gets past him, it's 4. Good stop.
He's had a couple of instances in his first 2 or 3 games, Isaac Mohammed, where his fielding's been found wanting. It's already improving. It's already getting better because he's playing at this level and he's focused and he knows he can't make mistakes, and he's only 17 years old. He's not played at this level under this pressure before, and it's showing. There's 2 or 3 good stops tonight, including that diving one earlier on from Joe Clark's off drive.
It's a high drama from the music. Whoever's in charge of the music.
I thought a jet aircraft had gone over. I thought one of the Red Arrows was here.
In comes Gibbon. Pulled away down the leg side. Fat Singh is in
brilliant.
business.
He's redeemed
Diving
himself. He's redeemed himself. And I bet that's going through his mind. He's let one through his legs before earlier. He's run around there to his right, wrong side. He's left-handed, and absolute determination to stop that one.
Well, he's a popular figure here. Fateh Singh. We will see him with the ball at some point.
Moores is going to go for everything at the moment, I think. I really do.
Cut away, that's going to be 4. Cracking shot, bit of width. Sent away. Well, they've got no choice. The run rate's above 12 at this point. 4 down.
But you've got to stay focused as a bowler. You've just got to keep bowling in the areas that you're aiming for, to your plans. Don't give him any width. Diminutive left-hander, quite wristy, can hit it big. Struggled a bit though this season. He's played 1 or 2 decent knocks, but he hasn't been consistent. He's under pressure. Stick to your guns. He's only going to make 1 mistake.
Well, he's a 1 in 10 kind of batter, isn't he? How can Gibbon respond on debut, under pressure? Has wrapped him on the pads. Big shout. Umpire unmoved. But this will be a test. We have seen Allison in just his 2nd game. Gibson on debut.
Too high.
So
straight but too high.
launched away. That's going to be 4 more. It's good clean hitting. And Moores has taken a liking to Ben Gibbon and his introduction to T20 cricket. And look, and this is a brutal format. Margins are so small.
He fought well in T20 cricket for the seconds this year, isn't he? Very well, I think, pretty consistently.
Well, we've seen him bowl good Yorkers, haven't we? Particularly, but of course the standard is markedly different. He's also in a position where he knows the batters are going to come after him. They have no choice. 2 boundaries in the over. Skied in the air, that's going to go for 6. He's absolutely crunched that Moores, and it's been a really productive over from an Outlaws perspective. And they needed that. Goodness me, the Outlaws needed that. And that's just a little reminder that the Rapids are in a game here.
Well, 30 from the last 2, from Brooks and Gibbon. And they talk about matchups, don't they? And what they're basically saying is, you know, we've got to go for it. Brooks and I knew there'd be a bowling change, and this is significant. Fateh Singh coming into the attack at the Diglis end. So Montgomery might target Singh on the leg side, on that short side.
Well,
but Moores will be hitting to the longer side if he takes him on the onside. Singh starts. Montgomery drives through the covers. It's a beautiful shot. The runs are absolutely coming thick and fast now. And 2 things spring to mind. That's 4, by the way. 83 for 4. One, you know, I personally, in the commentary box here, started talking about frustration and how they'll feel, and it's not one yet. And if that same mindset is in the minds of the bowlers and the fielders out there, then possibly you can just ease the pressure. And it's just been a little bit loose in 3 overs, and Fateh Singh with a dot just manages to get a grip on it for a little bit. But that's 4 more. Beautifully played reverse from Montgomery, and these 2 are really putting the bowlers under pressure in this middle section, and you know, to the extent that we've seen 38 runs from the last 15 deliveries.
Well, look, Taylor and Shazad can only bowl 8 overs.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's about players stepping up.
Singh again bowls better. Yorker, faster, flatter. Beats Montgomery. Dot ball gets a clap. The light's not great now. Singh is in again round the wicket. Again, good, well bowled. Good flat, quick one from Singh. And applause again. When the crowd start applauding dot balls, you know that they're feeling a little bit of tension. And so far, Singh has responded well after going to the boundary twice. But this one's gone to the boundary as well. Absolutely nailed by Montgomery. So that's the end of the over. And another really expensive one. 13 runs coming from it. 12, I beg your pardon, coming from it. 3 fours. And we're at the halfway stage. And it's 91 for 4. And at the halfway stage, the Rapids were only 9 runs ahead. They were 100. They'd only lost 1 wicket. They were 100 for 1. But that is a very, very big 3 overs for the Outlaws. And they've scored, well, they've gone from 49 for 3 after 7 to 91 for 4 after 10.
Well, change at the New Road end, so Ben Allison back into the attack. He'll be taking on Moores, who took a liking to Ben Gibbon. Right arm fast round the wicket. That's just pushed into the leg side. Won't get a chance to get 2 as Tom Taylor comes across. And Worcestershire just need a good over here just to put a lid on things. But these two going well. They hadn't really got a choice, have they? It's a lot of pressure on these two to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
But they've struck it well, haven't they?
Well, Montgomery, particularly in that previous over, was using the popping crease well, making room for himself outside leg. Coming towards the bowler. And that's just been heaved. That's absolutely massive. That's been completely smoked. Drop short. It's over the marquee. And that's just help yourself stuff, really.
Brett Oliver's got a headache here, I think. And it's just incredible how quickly it can turn. They looked way off it, didn't they? The run rate creeping up towards 13. And suddenly it's down to just over 11. And that is not too dark. I mean, I was talking about 13 for 10 overs or more. I reckon you get it down to 11, that's sustainable in the second half of the innings. Obviously, wickets are key. Does D'Oliveira now turn to a Shazad or a Taylor for an over earlier than he wants to? They're missing Finch, they're missing Dwarshuis, obviously. That might hurt them. But if anything, we're seeing that difference, that step up at this level for the bowlers that haven't played at this level much before.
Down the ground, that's going to be more treatment. 1 bounce 4. Well, I think he's going to have to, Frank, because it's absolutely raining boundaries here. And
well, this is almost like we saw in the first innings. Incidentally, on that point, Stephen Mann's done a bit of research. He thinks that Worcestershire's previous 50 might have been 21 balls, fastest 50 in Blast cricket. So it could be that Ethan Brooks has broken that record today, but it's not in everybody's mind just at the moment. As not to strike back.
Pulled away. It's going to beat the 2 fielders in the deep. That's timed beautifully. 4 more.
I mean, Montgomery, 43 off 20 is almost matched Brooks, not quite, well, but he's done it in pretty impressive fashion.
Well, he was 9 off 11, Frank. So
yeah,
he's opened the taps, and all of a sudden that run rate is just a notch over 10.5, which is manageable.
To say they need a wicket is a massive understatement.
And that's a lovely shot as well, just guided over the top. It's a boundary, a ball here. 3 successive 4s after a massive 6.
It's momentum as well, isn't it? And I was as guilty as anybody of thinking it was not done, but you know, somebody'd have to play incredibly well to change the things, but things have changed. Momentum is absolutely with the Outlaws now, and Brett D'Oliveira just has to get a wicket. He just has to.
Yeah, I think we'll likely see Tom Taylor with the next over.
So we've had 19 off this over and 44 off the previous 3.
Well, fine legs coming up into the circle here. Kashif at square leg is going out onto the boundary. In comes Allison. And that's just chipped up in the air.
And he's got
opportunity for a catch. And taken. So he's taken an absolute flogging, but now he's taken a wicket. And that was desperately needed. High fives from everybody. And it's tough to watch when you get whacked all over the park. But he's held his nerve. He's taken a wicket. And he'll feel an awful lot better about life there. But we've seen some lusty blows from Montgomery, who falls just 3 short of what would have been a rapid fire 50. 47 from 22 balls.
Unbelievable.
So
what's happened in the last few overs?
If anyone in the ground has gone to the bar and have taken a little longer than they normally would, or made a cup of tea at home and come back to this, they might have been surprised. But an astonishing fight back from Montgomery, ably supported by Moores, who tucked into Fateh Singh.
53 from the last 4 overs. I mean, that's good in a power play. Extraordinary in these circumstances. Interesting bowling change. Brooks is back with a slower ball, which Moores cuts for a single. I wonder if Brooks would have bowled this over had that wicket not gone down. I think you're right. I think it would have been Taylor. We'll probably never know. Ben Allison hugely relieved, I'm sure, to have got that wicket.
Well, as you point out,
Ugly
it's a really tough ask to come in to this standard of cricket with these batters going after you.
Brooks in again, cleverly bowled, and Sams can't do much with that. Just gets a little under edge on it, drops down on the onside. Just need a couple of overs now where they only get 7 or 8, and then the run rate will creep up again. But they've been woken up of the Rapids, no question about that. In case they were thinking it was done, and I was probably as guilty as anybody. Again, clever from Brooks, and Moores can't do anything with that. Need a boundary now then, the Outlaws. 3 balls gone in this over, just 2 runs added. Matthew Montgomery's assault ended. Brooks short, pulled away by Moores on the leg side. Oh, and Ben Allison running in, brave attempt, dives forward. I didn't think he was even going to try, and then he just at the very last minute dived forward and got his hands underneath it, couldn't hold on to it. It would have been a miraculous catch had he done so. In fact, it was almost landing in front of him. It was a good stop in the end. Another single. And Brooks to Sams, clipped away on the leg side, does his own fielding. Another single. Very, very good from Ethan Brooks so far. Can he finish the over without a boundary? If he can, it's a brilliant bowling change from Brett D'Oliveira, and a great response from Ethan Brooks, whose first over was pretty expensive.
They'll also be keen to keep Moores off strike as well, I think.
And he does manage to get out of the over without a boundary. It's just another single. Excellent over from Brooks. 5 runs coming from it. And the Outlaws, after 12 overs, 115 for 5. So it's a really good over after 53 runs had come from the previous 4 overs, with Montgomery in particular catching the eye with a brilliantly struck 47 off 23 balls. Now Fateh Singh is reintroduced, this time at the New Road end, and it's getting pretty gloomy, but Moores will be striking with the spin towards the shorter boundary on the leg side.
It's left-hander to left-hander. In comes Patson. It's a full toss, and it's been clubbed away through extra cover for 4.
pressure. First ball of the over. .25 off 12 for Moores.
What's Singh's response then? And he looks to try and whack the casing off the ball. Doesn't get much of it. It squirts out into the leg side. They'll take a single though. It brings Sams on strike. It makes such a difference. That wicket, last ball of Allison's over. And I think time it takes for a new batter to get set, get the pace of the pitch, allows Brooks to sneak in with a really handy over. And, out into the offside, should be just a single. Singh just looking to fire that into the right-hander. He's coming round the wicket to left-handed. Wasn't too close to cut.
Dot ball, that's the main thing.
Getting through his work quickly as Singh off a short run up, looks to club that down the ground. He's absolutely hammered that. What a fantastic shot that is. To the pitch of the ball and just hammers it down the ground. Hose is quick across the turf, but he had absolutely no chance of cutting that off. Last ball of the 13th over. And that's cut away. Allison's got some work to do. Should cut it off. Does. Nearly loses his sunglasses. They'll take two. So 6 off the last 2 balls. In the end, it's 12 off the over. And the tricky bit as well is that Singh's been expensive. And they've got to find some overs from somewhere, Frank. I wonder if we'll see an over from Brett D'Oliveira.
Well, I don't think he'll back himself, given that he's been quite expensive when he has bowled this year. They've got to get at least one more. You've just got to keep chipping away, haven't you? But they're going to go all the way, Notts. And whereas they were in danger of falling away and going for all out for maybe 150, 160, that is not going to happen, I don't think. And he has turned to Brooks again, and he has hammered it straight down the ground and is, well, what a catch, what a catch that is down there.
I think it's Isak.
Tom Taylor, no, it's Isak, a brilliant catch. Having said his fielding's improving, there's the proof. Absolutely magnificent catch, and batsman is asking the question of whether it carried. I've watched the replay. I don't think there's much doubt that it did. It was a superb diving catch, diving forward. And Daniel Sams has gone for 3. And just when I said Worcestershire needed a wicket, they picked one up. Brilliant catch. I think talked about his fielding improving. I think it just has to, doesn't it? It just has to. You know, I think in a second team game, in an academy game, you're not even probably going for that. You're probably going to let it bounce and take it. In this context, you've just got to make it into a catch. And he dives forward, and he picks it up in 2 hands just off the turf. The catching's been top class on both sides tonight.
There have been difficult chances as well, Frank. Diving forward, running back, and catching over your shoulder. What do you think about it? Lost to the Bears by 1 run. By 1 wicket, sorry. In a close one off the last ball, lost to Lancashire by 7 runs. So all these little moments in the field add up.
When Brooks was caught right on the edge, could have gone for 6. Oh, he's got another one. Adam Hose takes the catch. Patson White goes first ball. Brooks has picked up a 3rd wicket. He's having the night of his career.
When it's your day, Frank. We're wondering where the over's going to come from. I thought maybe the skipper might have a go, take responsibility as the young bowlers took a bit of flack. But Ethan Brooks, whatever he touches, 2 in 2.
And he's on a hat-trick. 50 and a hat-trick.
Well, I'm tempted not to say anything, but I think you're going to go on.
Fastest 50 in Worcestershire T20 history, and now he's on a hat-trick. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just stating facts.
OK, good. Well played. You stopped short of saying anything. I appreciate you.
It's well, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a funny game, but Ethan Brooks is a boy whose career is on a very, very steep upward trajectory at the moment.
I look at it and I say, I'm deciding to come down the M5 and join Worcestershire's working out for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not worked out badly, and he's repaid Worcestershire's willingness to reward him with opportunity with a new contract, I think.
The slow hand claps in effect. Brooks on a hat-trick.
Calvin Harrison got his first class 100 recently. And he's beaten outside the off stump. D'Oliveira appealing. It was a play and a miss. Roderick took the bells off just for theatre.
Well,
but what a night for Ethan Brooks.
I wonder who'll get man of the match. Who knows?
Got it the other day on Sunday as well. Driven this one by Harrison up to long off. Just for a single. So one off the over so far, 2 balls left. Run rate has crept up again to 12.5, and the light is not good. Tom Moores on strike. Beaten by a good change of pace from Brooks. Cleverly bowled. Jogging back to his mark. Cut off his 8.23. Shouldn't be. Oh, could be tight actually. Could be tight. If it goes that far. Brooks in again. Bowls, and Moores is beaten again. No, he's not. Gets an outside edge as he drives away on the onside. Fateh Singh pulls it up inside the rope. Just 2 from it. 3 off the over for Ethan Brooks. And 2 wickets. 130 for 7. Very, very good comeback from Worcestershire after that massive assault. 53 coming off 4 overs between 8 and 11. And then 5, 12, 3 off the next 3.
Wow. Ben Allison's going to bowl from New Road again. I'd be half tempted to bring
I would.
Shazad and Taylor on and look to end this game now.
Yeah, I would.
But I think they're looking to get some overs and some experience into Allison and Gibbon, and finish the campaign with everyone feeling good about life. But I'd want to end this game now and hope for Derbyshire.
I think I'd have gone for one from Shazad, who's got 2 left.
Keep Brooks the other end. But in comes Allison, and played into the leg side for a single. Chip and a chair. A chip and a chair. 131 for 7. Still 76 away from a winning total. And Ben Allison, who's been expensive so far, but this will be vital experience for him. Really talented all-round cricketer, this lad. That's clubbed down the ground. Chance of catch, but it's going to ride at the fielder on the bounce, and Hose actually takes it with his left hand.
Great
little bit of spin.
As well.
And it's the quickness from transference of the ball to his right hand and launching it in. And he fills down there for a reason, Frank, doesn't he? Really good in that position. Great boundary rider. Moore's on strike.
6.
And he's absolutely clubbed. That'll be 1 bounce 4.
I'm just wondering if Allison's problem here is it just hasn't got enough variation. He's tried a slower ball in the back of the hand. He's just got a big full toss.
Yeah, on leg stump, and you'd have to be very unlucky to pick out the fielder with that. And Moores marches on, 40 from 20.
Well, he's had his critics amongst the not supporters, Tom Moores. Got a chance of proving a few wrong. He can pull this off.
7 from the first 3. And that's going to arrive on the bounce.
Great,
awkward one, but he's
fielding. And he's turned the run down. It's interesting.
Well,
he's turned the run down.
Tom Taylor doing the fielding. Awkward bounce in front of him. Got his body behind it, most importantly.
It's a good bit of fielding, that was, wasn't it?
Well, I think Moores realises that if they're going to get anywhere near, he's going to have to face as many of the deliveries as possible. It still feels a little bit too far out for that though, Frank. Someone else is going to have to contribute for the Outlaws if they're going to get close. But Moores is going well here. And that's going to be a wide.
I think they're going to struggle with the cut-off, you know, as well, which might be a factor if it gets really close. Well bowled, got one in the block hole. So seamers all the way through and ball being fetched back a fair bit is the combination for struggling with the cut-off. I know we've had a couple of overs of Fateh Singh, but 8:23 is the time. That's only 13.5 minutes away, and they've still got another. It's not going to happen, is it? They're not going to do it. They're going to be short of it unless they can bowl knots out.
Well, when you're getting sent to the boundary and having to change fields and such like, you've got a left-hand, right-hand combination as well that makes it tricky. As that's clipped in the way. Yeah, can Rodders get there?
Yeah.
He can.
Important wicket that, even though it's not Moores.
Well, the key is that as wickets fall, Moores gets more desperate at the other end. But Allison's got another wicket. It has been expensive, but it's really important experience for this young cricketer. And he picks up another. Outlaws at 8 down. And the cut-off might not matter, Frank, at this point.
No, it might not.
But you're right, in terms of managing the game, we have seen it several times where they've either been really tight on it or just failed to reach it.
And although 9 came off that over, that's not bad from a Worcestershire point of view. And the run rate now is up towards 13.5, so it's tough and it's dark. And when you've been losing partners at the other end, albeit Montgomery played very well, is a valiant effort, but he's got to keep it going, and he's facing Brooks's variations. Hits the first one straight to the fielder at extra cover. So dark now that I'm struggling a bit. We're sitting side on here. You're looking at enhanced pictures on the screen. We can see them. The light looks a lot better on TV than it really is. That one absolutely smashed by Moores down the ground. Absolutely laced that on the up. He's got a wide stance, stocky left-hander, hits it hard, times it perfectly, and it's gone all the way.
Well, consistency is the problem with Moores, isn't it? I mean, he's shown multiple times that he can do it. It's in between those big innings.
Brooks, shorter, slower, wider, cut away for a single. Crowd are clapping ones now. Not easy for Ollie Stone to come in and start whacking it straight away.
Well, wicket to wicket. Slower balls, cutters. Trying to time it will be interesting. Brooks just 3 balls left of his spell, Frank. 3 wickets to his name. He'll fancy one more, I've mentioned.
Stone swivels and pulls this way down to long leg for a single. I'm pretty sure that it's the first time he's bowled 4. No, it's not. It's actually the 4th time. He did it in the first game.
He got a couple of 1 for 26s in a
did.
row, didn't he?
The first 2 games, yeah, and then 1 for 32 in one of the others. Moores cut, tumbling stop at backward point. Got one is good. 1 is good. Last ball of Brooks' spell then. And Stone hammers it back and he almost catches it, I think. Yeah, diving to his right, couldn't hold on to it. Finishes with 3 for 30.
Yeah, Moores made it tricky for him.
Yeah, he did. It was, well, not deliberately.
Yeah.
I think there's not much he could do about that. So Ethan Brooks finishes with figures of 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 30. That's a pretty good effort from the young all-rounder to go with his brilliant innings earlier today. And that over produced 9. And now Tom Taylor will finish off his spell.
Three overs, 1 for 14 from Taylor. And he's bowled better than that as well. As that's drilled down the ground. That's a cracking shot. Allison's interested, he'll get there. It's a good bit of ground fielding. And they'll take 2. And Tom Taylor's now jogging back to the top of his mark as they realise the time is tricky as the 150 comes up for the Outlaws. Taylor in, Moores waits. And he's clubbed that as well. And that's going to be 6 more. What a fantastic shot that is. And he is single-handedly keeping his side's faint hopes alive. But more to the point, for the likes of Julian and myself, who are hoping for a sizable victory margin to try and get some sort of miracle on the go with regard to Rapids qualifying for the quarter-finals. I think Moores is putting pay to that by himself. 156 for 8. Taylor in again. And, he's thinking about a no ball, then thinking about a wide. He wasn't quite sure, but in the end it will be a wide. It was a wide full ball. Moores appealed for it, and he got it. Seen a little bit of indecisive officiating, haven't we?
Yeah, not just tonight. Yeah.
Taylor in again, and that's been clubbed. Has he got enough on that? Hoses down there, and he's
Short.
taken the wicket.
That's it, game over.
Well, Moores has gone. Still 1 more wicket to get, but with Moores departing, he leaves the crease. Outlaws' hopes of leaving Visit Worcestershire New Road with a victory disappear with him. They need 50 of 3.5 overs. And they brought Tom Taylor back to do what Tom Taylor does, and that's take wickets in the T20 Blast. A fantastic campaign he's had. And Dylan Pennington gets a very welcome round of applause from the home fans here. And there's a reasonable amount of Outlaws fans here. Plenty of Nottinghamshire shirts on show, which we like, of course. And Moore's getting a very, very welcome round of applause. He makes his way up the steps to the Graham Hick Pavilion. Did everything he could to keep his side alive. 157 for 9.
It's pretty dark, isn't it now?
It is gloomy, grey skies, cloud above our heads. Taylor into Pennington, and it's a play and a miss. And the intent was to send that into Cripplegate Park, but
it's over 14 and over now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I suspect that Pennington's here for a good time, not a long time. He'll be looking to try and whack everything, as will Stone. They don't have a choice. Run rate's 15. Taylor in again. Clubbed into the leg side. Can Allison get there? No, he can't. Couple of bounces. They'll take a single. It'll bring Ollie Stone on strike. And that's the nature of the scoreboard pressure. And we felt they were 30 above par. Batted well. It was interesting that, you know, the going over 200 and only using 5 bowlers isn't common.
No.
So Taylor's in again, and again slower ball, play and a miss. That's going to finish out Tom Taylor's evening. 4 overs, 2 for 24. It's another fantastic effort. And he accounted for Moores, importantly.
4 overs, 2 for 24, and in that over he went for 8 off the first 2 balls, didn't he? So outstanding figures. Otherwise, Khurram Shahzad comes back. And Brett D'Oliveira has handled his bowlers pretty well, given the pressure that he was under in the middle of the innings. Chipped away by Pennington for a single. You just feel we're going through the motions a bit now, don't you? I think we're going to see Shahzad finish off from that Diglis end, and probably, I would imagine, Allison bowl from the New Road end. Could be Gibbon.
This might well be full and straight. Oh, no, he's just in the middle of the pitch.
Short and straight.
I like it.
Short and straight. As I said, if you're watching on our live stream, it looks reasonably light. The TV pictures always enhance the light a little bit. Believe me, it is not. We're looking straight across the ground, and we're looking at the scoreboard on the 7 side of the ground, and the lights are shining very, very brightly indeed. Swing and a miss, or maybe a little bottom edge from Ollie Stone.
Slower ball there from Khurram Shahzad.
They're going to miss the cut-off, but it doesn't matter, I would suggest. And that's only if, of course, they don't pick up this last wicket before that. And it's actually turned out, oddly, to be the sort of innings that I was suggesting might happen when they got off to a bad start, where they kind of limp along. I wasn't expecting it to happen quite in the way that it did, because I must say, when they took 53 off 4 overs between overs 8 and 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 17, 14, 19, when Matthew Montgomery was on the charge, just for a minute, Worcestershire looked a little bit troubled. As it is, it will turn out to be quite a big margin of victory, one would imagine. As there's another dot here. Poor old Ollie Stone, 1 off 7 so far, unable to get a bat on it.
I'd venture that Shahzad might want to stick one of these on the stumps. Play and a miss. But you feel like this is either going to end in tears, or Stone's going to send one absolutely miles, because he's winding up here.
Just squeezes it out on the leg side for a single. End of the over from Shahzad, nicely bowled from him. Just the 1 run, 2 runs, I beg your pardon, coming from it. 18 gone, 160 for 9. And it will be Ben Allison to finish off from the New Road end. So Ben Gibbon finishes with figures of 2 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 24. Fateh Singh, 2 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 24 as well.
Allison in and shoveled down the ground for a single. And as you say, Frank, we're just going through the motions here. And it has more than makers. We still have the warmth. We don't have the sun. Very thick grey and white cloud above us. But it is warm. As Allison's on his way in. Pennington on strike. And he's bowled him. And Allison gets his 3rd wicket. And he celebrates that with a telling finger. And it started rather difficulty for the former Essex man. But he's bagged himself 3 wickets. Worcestershire have won by 45 runs. It's a comprehensive victory here. And of the hard work really done with the bat. A stunning performance. First up, 206, including the fastest T20 50 in the Rapids history, courtesy of Ethan Brooks. But actually, it might have gotten a little bit hairy in the middle, Frank. And Gibbon and Allison were trying to figure it out, but as you say, Brett D'Oliveira did a really good job of marshalling his troops. Ethan Brooks picking up key wickets, Ben Allison as well, when it mattered, picking up wickets. And that courageous fight back from Montgomery first and then Tom Moores was all in vain. And the Rapids finish out their T20 campaign in the group stages with 2 comprehensive victories.
Yeah, really good comprehensive double over Notts for Worcestershire, which is something that the Worcestershire fans always enjoy, partly because in a light-hearted kind of way they regard Notts as a team that pinches their players. Be that as it may, they've deserved it tonight. They deserved it at Trent Bridge, and it ends their campaign, as you say, with 2 consecutive victories, and that means that as regards the table, they can't do any more. Worcestershire, they've completed their group games, and their situation in the table is that they have won 7, lost 7, and they finish on 28 points. Is that right?
It is 28 points, so
Yeah.
they've gone level with the Bears.
Won 7, lost 7 on 28 points. Their run rate will have been significantly improved tonight. Whether it'll be improved enough or not for them to sneak in to quarter-final qualification, I don't know. It means, as I said a few minutes ago, that they will be looking back at 1 or 2 of the narrow losses earlier on and ruining them. But at least they finished well. We saw an outstanding performance today. We saw outstanding performance from Matthew Montgomery. We saw a one-man effort from Tom Moores trying to keep Notts in it. But the man of the match for, I think, anybody that was here, Ethan Brooks, 57 off 20 balls, 5 4s and 5 6s, and followed it up with 3 for 30. So a brilliant win for Worcestershire by 45 runs, and I hope you've enjoyed our coverage.
Well, just before we go, Frank, for everyone else who's like me, chipping a chair, Worcestershire's run rate now is just 0.007 behind the Bears. So it's super tight. So keep an eye on the fixtures tomorrow night, gang, because Derbyshire Falcons host the Bears. Derbyshire win and do an all right job of it. And then we're looking for Yorkshire to beat Leicestershire at the Upton Steel County Ground as well. Both start at 6:30. So Worcestershire, miraculously, they're still alive. It's going to be tight. We need results to go our way, but we might not be done just yet. And just a quick reminder that the live stream for the Women's Rapids game this Sunday against Yorkshire, it's a game that doesn't matter an awful lot for Worcestershire. They can't go through to the quarter-finals, but they have finished the campaign strongly. Back-to-back victories for them in their competition, so join us for that on Sunday if you can't get down to visit Worcestershire New Road. Thank you, as always, for keeping us company. And I've been Jim Dale, he's been Frank Watson, and we'll see you again soon.
What a game he's missed. Ian, he couldn't come.